was actually requested by OAW faithful Roderick Hughes. Salute. Big salute to you, sir. And if you all have a request for a film, TV series, or anime that you would like to see reviewed right here on OAW Entertainment, become a patron at patreon.com/OAW. And with that being said, here is the long awaited, very long awaited Hunter x Hunter 2011 anime series review. Let's get into it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Greetings to all the faithful watching live and all the faithful watching after the fact, and salute to all the patrons. This is Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I am here to bring you guys a special review, hot off the presses, special live review. So funny thing about this, for any of you all who have seen my last review, which was the Last Samurai review that we had on Monday night, I said at the end of the review that I came up with an idea to make the Hunter x Hunter review sort of like a super chat goal for the Q&A that's going to take place on Friday night. Because, you know, I've been planning to review this series for some time, but of course, because of the reviews I get requested on Patreon and whatnot, you know, I always had to put it on the back burner. So the idea was we would do a super chat goal, and if we reach that goal, then I would make it my very next review. Well, let me tell y'all what happened. So yesterday, my man Roderick hit me up, and he was like, Larry, dude, he was like, damn the super chat goal. I'll pay for this review right now. And I'm like, wait, what? Are you serious? He's like, yeah, dude, what's your Cash App? And so I told him, and bam. And I was like, oh, you want the review right now? Right now. Okay. So change of plans. You know, I was supposed to put up some more Batman Telltale this week. But change of plans, because my man Roderick came in hot, smoking hot, you know, and he's like, yeah, man, let's finally get this thing done. So here we are. This is what we're gonna do tonight. How's everybody doing? That's what's happening. So yeah, so that's how this review. Oh, Roderick's in the chat, man. He in chat. Yeah, man. He was like, man, damn the super chat goal. Let's get this right now. Right goddamn now. Let's do it. So yeah, so here I am getting ready to do this Hunter x Hunter review, right? All right, so before I jump into the review, a couple of things I wanna pretty much establish. So for the sake of the review, I think I'm gonna have to do this spoiler. I'm not really sure I can do the series justice if I was trying to do the whole thing spoiler free, because I'm gonna be doing an overall review of the entire series, right? I don't think I could do that justice if it was spoiler free. So in the event that any of you all have not yet seen the series, just so you know, we will be discussing spoilers. Excuse me. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much keep the same format that I do with my movie reviews. So I'm going to talk about, you know, the story, the writing, the dialogue, characters, animation, music. I'm going to talk about those things. What I'll do, though, since I'm talking about the entire series, I'll discuss each arc in each one of those categories. So when I'm talking about the story, I'll talk about the story as it pertains to each arc. And then when I talk about the characters, I'll talk about the characters and their character arcs as it occurs throughout the entire series, as it occurs in each arc. Cool? All right. So now that, and then last but certainly not least, I will be answering questions at the end of the review, but once again, only ones pertaining to the series. Only ones pertaining to the series, unless you guys drop super chats, in which case, super chat questions or comments, they will get read, and they have top priority. Cool? All right. Sweet. All right. So let's go ahead and actually, let me go ahead and hang on a sec. I think I might have. Oh, okay. Not sure if I'm going to have any of my YouTube collaborators in tonight, but I did send them the link, so who knows? They might pop in. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up the description box for this video because once again, for my brief description and I mean my brief synopsis and some of my other info, I will be reading directly from the description box. So by all means, feel free to read along with me. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get this thing started. All right. So this is my review of the 2011 reboot of the anime TV series Hunter x Hunter, based on the 1998 manga by Yoshihiro Togashi of Yu Yu Hakusho fame. The series was produced by Madhouse and directed by Hiroshi Kōjina. And a brief synopsis of Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is set in a world where hunters exist to perform all manner of dangerous tasks like capturing criminals and bravely searching for lost treasures in uncharted territories. 12-year-old Gon Freecss is determined to become the best hunter possible in hopes of finding his father, who was a hunter himself and had long ago abandoned his young son. However, Gong soon realizes the path to achieving his goals is far more challenging than he could ever have imagined. Along the way to becoming an official hunter, Gong befriends the lively doctor in training Leorio, vengeful Kurapika, and rebellious ex-assassin Killua. To attain their own goals and desires together, the four of them take the hunter exam, notorious for its low success rate and high probability of death. Throughout their journey, Gong and his friends embark on an adventure that puts them through many hardships and struggles. They will meet a plethora of monsters, creatures, and characters, all while learning what being a hunter truly means. All right, so yeah, that is a very brief, overarching description of Hunter x Hunter. But essentially, Hunter x Hunter is a shonen. It is a shonen anime based off of a shonen manga. It's an adaptation of the manga series by Yoshihiro Togashi, who, as I mentioned earlier, is also the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's also the creator of Level E. If any of you all have read that, and this is pretty much like his big I mean, yes, Level E was published after Yu Yu Hakusho, but this was pretty much like his big follow-up to Yu Yu Hakusho, because I think technically this is his longest running series, but that's because the manga has had multiple hiatuses during its publication because of Togashi's multiple health issues and multiple sabbaticals that he had to take. So, but anyway, so yeah, so this is the 2011 remake. The original anime, which is dated, I think, 1999. So it's like it premiered the year after the manga was first published. That there is an original anime, but that only covers, I want to say, the first two. No, I'm sorry, the first three story arcs, and then Greed Island, which is the fourth one, was released on like an OVA. But this one actually covers all the way up until the election arc, which is the, let's see, we got Hunter Exam, Heaven's Arena, Yorknew City, Greed Island, Chimera Ant. Okay, so yeah, six arcs. And the series is about this remake. This remake, I want to say, is what, 100? How many episodes are we? I think it's 140 episodes around that, because when because the Chimera Ant arc starts at like episode 70, and that's about halfway through the series. So yeah, so it's roughly, I think, like just shy of 140 episodes. So anywho, so yeah, so Hunter x Hunter, it is, sort of more of the traditional shonen anime fare. It is an action adventure series. So, and because the series does involve a lot of like traveling and things like that, like it is akin to, say, like One Piece, something like that, right? Where the group of characters travel from place to place throughout the different story arcs in the series. They meet new villains, new adversaries, antagonists. There is usually a conflict that is central to that specific story arc. Funny enough, yeah, Hunter x Hunter doesn't really have an overarching conflict. It usually is one that's like arc by arc by arc. Some characters do have their own arcs that are like, for an example, like Kurapika, right? Kurapika's story arc takes place over multiple arcs. Killua's story arc takes place pretty much throughout the bulk of the series, and the same thing for Gong, right? But some characters like Leorio, the bulk of his story is in the Hunter exam, if you think about it. I mean, he does appear in other arcs, but like the bulk of his story arc is in that one, right? Until we get into the election arc where we kind of do some new stuff with him. Okay, so what else can I talk about briefly before I get into each of the individual arcs? Let's see. Okay, so if you are currently watching this, because we're about 11 minutes in now, and you're still trying to figure out whether or not this type of anime is your bag, like I said, I will go as far as to say this. Like I said, if you like One Piece, I think you'll like Hunter x Hunter. I could argue if you're a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, you'll like Hunter x Hunter. There are a lot of similarities, especially with the characters. Like our four main characters, are very, very similar. Oh, excuse me. Very similar, very reminiscent to the four mains from Yu Yu Hakusho. Some of the character traits differ depending on who but for all intent and purpose, let's see. Leorio is Kuwabara. Killua is Hiei. Kurapika is Kurama. And I wouldn't go as far as to say Gong is Yusuke. I wouldn't go that far. But Gong is sort of like the leader of their group. So yeah. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's talk about the story. Let's talk about the story. All right. Oh, one more thing too. I would also argue if you're a Naruto fan, you'll dig Hunter x Hunter. Because once again, there are a lot of similarities between this series and that series. Especially there are two that I'm getting ready to talk to in a minute. Two that were so daunting I kind of couldn't even ignore them, right? And to say that this manga came out right, I want to say because the Naruto manga I think came out in '99, the year after this. So I'm just saying, man, you guys will see what I'm talking about in a minute. All right, so let's talk about the story. Let's talk about the writing. Okay, so the first story arc that we get in this series is the Hunter exam, right? That's the introduction story arc. That's the story arc that introduces us to all of the main characters and a lot of the supporting characters or reoccurring characters that we'll see later in the series, right? So for an example, one of the main, I guess you could say, antagonist characters, not necessarily a villain, but he is an antagonist, Hisoka, one of the fan favorites, right? Hisoka. He's introduced in the Hunter exam, right? Let's see, Netero, the chairman of the Hunter Association, he's introduced in the Hunter exam. Illumi, is that how you pronounce it? I think I pronounced it right. Killua's antagonistic older brother, right? He's introduced in the Hunter exam. So the Hunter exam pretty much like sets the groundwork for what we will eventually see later on in the series, because in the Hunter exam, not only are we introduced to the characters, not only are we introduced to the Hunter Association, right? But we learn exactly what does the profession of being a hunter entail, because there are multiple hunters. As I mentioned in the brief synopsis, right? Hunter is such a loose term, and it's actually one of the credits I will give the show, and well, the franchise, if you will, the story. It's one of the credits I give it because like that ambiguous title entails so many different professions that you can kind of take the story wherever you want to, right? So for an example, like what are some of the professions of a hunter? So you have wild game hunters, right? So people who hunt elusive or mythical creatures, right? Because this world has a lot of fictitious mythical creatures, right? So you have the hunter, the big game hunters who go after them, right? You have treasure hunters, right? So they're not, and some of these guys aren't even like archaeologists, right? Like they're treasure hunters, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're like a Laura Croft or a Nathan Drake or even an Indiana Jones, right? Like some of these cats just keep it for themselves, but they do seek out rare items. And we find out in the course of the series, not only is this like material items, but sometimes even bio items, right? Because we found out about that, right? So you have treasure hunters, right? Then you have the explorers, right? The ones who are trying to chart the map of the world, if you will, right? So for an example, like this isn't in the series, so minor spoiler, but there is the major story arc that I think is still going on in the manga right now is the Dark Continent, right? And this is the first big story arc that takes place after the end of this series. That whole thing is about exploring this uncharted continent, right? Like they know it exists, they know where it is, but they're, not a lot of hunters have been able to go there and come back, right? So that's kind of what that story is about, right? So you have your explorer hunters, you have bounty hunters, right? So people who are hired in order to track dangerous criminals. Some of those criminals are hunters themselves, right? Um, let's see, are there any other types specifically? Because okay, so there are like I know there are the so all the Toriko fans in the house, right? So yeah, so there I know there's like chef hunters, right? Where they're sort of like big game hunters, but they hunt big game in order to create like um the these rare meals, right? Like these delicacies, like these never before type meals and stuff like that. Like there are hunters for that, dude. Essentially, in this series, hunters kind of operate like smartphone apps. There's a hunter for everything, just about, right? Just about. And as I mentioned before, like I said, even on the other side of the road, right? Remember what I said about bounty hunters? They hunt criminals, gourmet hunters. There you go. Yeah, there you go, gourmet hunters. Yeah. So so remember how I said like even with bounty hunters have to hunt criminals who themselves may be hunters, right? Here's the other thing too. You got a bunch of hunters that do a lot of black market stuff, right? So yeah, hunters are plenty. But like I said, the hunter exam kind of give us our first taste of all of that, right? Um and then, of course, it also introduces the hunter examination. So, as I mentioned briefly in the synopsis, pretty much this is what the hunter exam is. If you want to be a hunter, you have to pass this exam. I think, what is it? I actually had it pulled up here. It said something like the hunter exam had like what was the completion rate of the hunter exam? It was something, dude. It was something ridiculous. Actually, I did have it pulled up. I lost it. I think it was in one of the other descriptions that I had pulled up. Yeah, so the first big test is actually, passing the hunter exam. So first, so just off the bat, this is why I said if you're a fan of Naruto, you might get a kick out of Hunter x Hunter because there are so many similarities between the Chunin exam and the Hunter exam. And like I said, seeing as how this predates the Naruto manga by a single year, and taking in consideration that this is the first story arc of this manga, whereas in Naruto the Chunin exam is like the second story arc, I can't help but get the sense that Kishimoto drew influence from this series, right? So the hunter examination, like I said, talking about the writing, talking about the the story, just the overall setup. For the most part, I think the hunter examination is written well enough. It's not my favorite arc of the series. It isn't. There are a couple of moments where it does feel a little tedious. For the record, actually, I had reviewed, I think, what was it, like the first 6 or 7 episodes of the anime, which cover, like, I think the first 2 or 3 exams. It's either the first 2 or 3 exams of the Hunter exam. Because I'm trying to remember the thing with the sort of like the manhunt test, right? Like I'm trying to remember if that was the second or if that was the third. But I remember reviewing all the way up to that point, right? So the thing is, with the Hunter exam, some of the tasks they have to do, right? Like, okay, having the exam sort of end in this tournament, right? I was like, all right, kind of saw that coming, right? Because like I said, it's just like the tuning exams, right? It's like, oh, it's a tournament, right? And then even the test before that, where they had to like make their way like down the tower, even then there were sort of like these gauntlet type fights, right? That took place even in that exam, right? And even that, dude, like I was totally getting Yu Yu Hakusho vibes, right? Like that felt like the House of Four Dimensions at the beginning of Chapter Black in that series, where it's like, oh, they start at the beginning, at the top of the tower, they have to make their way down and all that type of jazz, right? And then there's like trap doors and booby traps and all that type of jazz, right? Okay, all right. So with those two, okay, so we got the combatant piece, we got the explorer piece, but then like the test with the egg, like being able to get the egg from the nest and then you have to cook it and stuff like that. Like that one kind of seemed, I was like, all right, this sort of seemed tedious, right? And then the other thing too is when we got to the manhunt exam, right? Even that, I'm like, okay, like we could have very well have just done our little combative piece in that exam, right? So like I said, like some of that stuff in the Hunter exam did seem kind of tedious, but remember what I said, it's the introductory story arc. So the whole point of that was to introduce us to these characters and introduce us to their move sets. With that being said, though, one of the complaints I do have about that though is most of our characters' move sets we don't even learn about until after the Hunter exam. And that's what's going to bring me to the second story arc, which is Heaven's Arena, right? Now, Heaven's Arena is a pretty cool story arc. It's really straightforward and it's not really long, right? So, what happens in this story arc? So, just so y'all know, once again, spoilers now. We're talking spoilers. Just so y'all know, by the end of the Hunter exam, our 4 main characters they all get their Hunter license, and so they kind of split up, go their own ways. Before they do that, though, there is a Killua retrieval arc. Very, very brief. It's really, really brief. It's really fucking cool though. It's really, really cool. That is the arc we get introduced to the Zoldyck family, which is Killua's family, which is like the most elite assassins in the world. And I think all of them are hunters as well, because that's kind of in tow with their like they are assassins by profession, but having a hunter license allows them certain mobility that they probably wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Because here's the thing about being a hunter, because I forgot to mention this. Once you become a hunter, you pretty much get a license to do just about anything you want. You got a license to kill, you got a license to steal, you got a certain level of like diplomatic immunity. Like you can enter certain countries that are forbidden to civilians just because you're a hunter. So it's you get, and then the other thing too is like you get access to like the what is it? It's like the biggest like the hunter database is like dude, it's like the biggest information database in the entire world. Like it's bigger than any one country's intelligence agency. It's massive, right? And it's just a plethora. It's a plethora of freaking knowledge, right? So yeah, so you get access to that. So anywho, so going back into about the Zoldyck family. Now, I'm gonna mention that one just really brief. Okay, this I kind of don't want to spoil. The Killua retrieval arc is actually pretty fucking cool because this is when we get the introduction to the Zoldyck family, to his parents, his granddad, his siblings. And like I said, it's a brilliant setup because it gives us enough information about those characters, but not too much because most of them do reoccur later in the series, which is also really cool. And then, of course, it sets up Killua's story arc because Killua, like I said, he's like our Hiei character, right? So he's the quiet sort of like, oh snap, Irvin, Shining Otaku Comics is in the building.
What's
Irvin,
up?
what's
What's
happening,
up?
man?
How you feeling? You feeling good? How's everything
Let's talk
going?
about some Hunter.
Yeah, what part are you on? Which arc are you talking about?
So I'm talking about the Killua retrieval arc.
Oh,
or
yeah,
the
that was the second arc, right? Yeah, that was.
It's a mini arc in between the Hunter exam and Heaven's Arena because it's the one that sets up for Heaven's Arena.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's been a minute, but Hunter x Hunter is definitely my top series. When anything Togashi throws out, I feel like is gold, in my opinion.
Now, when you say top series, I know you ain't talking about like favorite of all time series though.
You know, I don't know. I want to put Hunter x Hunter up there. I probably need to rewatch it a few times to be able to say I want to put it in like my top maybe 5 or 10, but I would say it definitely has one of my favorite arcs, which I mean, you haven't gotten to that arc yet, and
okay,
the Chimera Ant arc, but
okay, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just working through the story right now. All right, so okay, so yeah, I'll feel you. So Urban, real quick, since I got you on, my man, real quick before I jump back into the Zoldyck family, give me your I'm talking about like elevator pitch thoughts. Like, what did you think about the Hunter exam?
Ooh, okay. So the Hunter exam, in terms of are you just saying as far as just my overall thoughts, like my rating for it, or do you mean like in terms of the like some of the characters and how they were introduced?
Just like your overall thoughts on the story. Like, so pretty much, I'm not sure if you caught the beginning of the stream. So pretty much what I was saying was the Hunter exam, it's a serviceable story arc because it's our introduction story arc, right? Like, we get to see all of these different tasks. Like, I don't necessarily think that any one of the tasks in the Hunter exam is like essential, right? Because the Hunter exam is supposed to be testing all of the applicants on like their certain skills in order to be a hunter.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying though. Seeing as the types of conflict we see our characters get into later, the Hunter exam did kind of feel superfluous in terms of what they had to do in the exam itself. The only thing that really seems to carry over is the like I said, the manhunt exam when Gon faced Hisoka for the first time.
Okay, now I know what you're
because of that.
So are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about when he had to force I forget what the name of the guy is, but he kind of looked, I think his name was Hanzo, to give up? Are you talking about that part of the exam towards the end? When Gon had
no. Remember when they had to get like the tags? You had to get
yes, and they had to take the bad. Okay, now I remember what you're talking about. I know exactly.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, that's another thing that reminds me of Yu Yu Hakusho because the tags that they used in the House of Four Dimensions, those things kind of work the same way, right? And but that like that piece of the Hunter exam that sets up the Gon Hisoka thing that we're going to see later in Heaven's Arena. Outside of that, though, like. I thought the Hunter exam for the most part was tedious, but I understand why we had to have it because it introduced us to some of the major players in the series.
I don't know if it was so much tedious. I mean, it may seem like it a little bit. The only reason why I kind of disagree just a little bit is because if you look at how the Hunter exam, how a lot of those tests that they had take place during the Hunter's exam, they were very unconventional. They weren't something that you would typically see in a lot of shonen. It wasn't just like, okay, rush in there and just, knock out your opponent and you're done, right? Even for example, the part of the exam where I was saying where Gon had to basically get his opponent to give up without actually beating his opponent. He couldn't kill his opponent, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, because you got disqualified if you did.
Exactly. And a lot of that lays the groundwork for how the series feels. You know, maybe not so much, for example, with, you know, not to get into it because we're not there yet, but the Chimera Ant arc. But if you think about, for example, the what's the final arc of the anime? I forget what they call it.
The chairman election.
Yeah, the chairman election arc. A lot of what took place in that arc, I would say, you know, you kind of get a feel for how the series may go and how in a sense it's more of a game, or it feels like more of the a lot of the tests are kind of feel like make the series feel like it's going to be more of a I'm trying to find the right word for it. Almost like a game of master, like of trickery, where you have to use your head in order to be able to figure out the puzzle. So it's like you're figuring out a puzzle a lot of times when you're watching Hunter x Hunter. It's more of a game, you know, and that's kind of what I feel like if you even read the manga, for example. I'm not to get into the manga, but I don't know if you're caught up on the manga with the Dark Continent arc.
No,
you know,
I'm not.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to say too much, but
I know some of the stuff that happens, but I'm not caught up on it.
Okay. But, you know, even with how some of the abilities work of some of these characters or whatnot, it's not just a matter of let me beat my opponent. It's more of, okay, how does this ability work? And the goal isn't always to necessarily, it's to hunt, you know, and this is basically what it was. It was basically, let me get the information that I need to in order to be able to, you know, achieve my goal as a hunter. You know, all the hunters aren't necessarily strong. You have different kinds of hunters. And I think that was more of what the goal was for this arc, was for you to at least get an idea of what kind of, how the story may feel in terms of the conflicts, how the conflicts take place.
Right.
Generally. Again, it's kind of like a puzzle. So that's kind of where I look at it, or at least the way I look at it in terms, like, for example, the first, I guess he really wasn't somebody they faced, but the big guy. Do you remember, like, the big fat guy that kind of like poisoned, what was it? Killua and or, you know, he tried to poison Killua, but he was one of the first people that they encountered in that tunnel. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, like, that's just, I mean, that's something minor, but it's like, you know, it's more of a series of trickery, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I know that's probably not the right word for it.
Cunning.
Yeah, cunning. You know.
Cunning. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So yeah. So just real briefly, I like when you jumped in, I was mentioning the Killua retrieval arc, or the what is the official name for it? It's like the Zoldyck compound.
Yeah, the Zoldyck.
The infiltration of the Zoldyck compound. Yeah, that, like I said, that was just really intriguing for me. That was just really intriguing for me, just because, like, I dug the Zoldykes, like I dug their whole thing. I think they're really cool. Yeah. So moving on to Heaven's Arena. Okay, so Heaven's Arena is pretty much okay, so this is pretty much like a tournament arc, right? Like, Heaven's Arena is pretty much a tournament arc. And it's not it's not very long, it's not drawn out, because Gon and Killua are there voluntarily. Like, you can come and go as you please, right? They're just there to make some coin. They're just there for money, right?
Actually,
so what's up?
Real quick, I didn't want to cut you off, you know, but with the Killua, I guess, compound arc or whatever, did you mention the whole fact of how it really serves as the purpose to kind of, in a way, like, really cement them as a group? Like, Killua, was it Gon, Leorio, and Kurapika. That's really the last time you really see them really cemented as friends, you know, and really connect them together in a way. That's what that arc kind of serves, at least to me.
Which is a criticism I have about the series. We'll get to that later, because bro, because there's some foolishness in that last story arc, specifically in the election arc. There's some foolishness, bro.
Okay.
So we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. So but yeah, so Heaven's Arena, like I said, it's a tournament arc pretty much. And the other thing too is, what I dug about Heaven's Arena was the fact that it wasn't even like a tournament arc person. Like, it wasn't like your traditional tournament arc, because they were only really there for like certain matches, right? Because I think, because what is it? They only have like a handful of matches a piece.
Exactly.
before they work their way up to Hisoka's class, right? Because so the way, so this is kind of cool. It's sort of like a battle tile, for
Yeah,
I
like
don't want to make a
Pokemon.
I didn't want to make a Pokemon reference, but it works like the battle tower, right? So there are classes, right? Not necessarily brackets, because they do have brackets, but it's actually, no, I don't think it is brackets. Isn't it lottery? It's a lottery system.
No, I believe it is. From what I remember, it's been a while
Yeah,
since
like
I've seen that art.
once you get into a certain class, then like each class you get into, there's a lottery system that determines your next match. And then after you win that match, you go up a class, your opponent will drop a class, and then y'all will both be re-entered into the lottery for the next match in that respective class. And so so Heaven's Arena, that, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Heaven's Arena is just an excuse for some cool ass fights. That's what it is.
Oh,
but
the
biggest thing of Heaven's Arena, and is kind of why it's so important to the series. This is where we learn the power system in Hunter x Hunter, which is it's Nin, right? That's how it's pronounced. Nin.
I thought it was always Nin.
Nin. Okay, Nen, Nin, the Nin system. And this system, oh my dude, I'll tell you this. During Heaven's Arena is when I became like I was Hunter. I watched the first season, which is like what is the Hunter exam? The Hunter exam is like what, 26 episodes?
Yeah,
it's 26 episodes. Sure. And then so I was like, I'm kind of watching it. I'm like, man, it's kind of tedious. Dude, when Heaven's Arena started, that's when I'm like, ooh, snap, hold up. Ooh. And then it's like the episode's ending, and I'm like, no, and then I'm clicking, it's like skip credits. Ooh, let's go to the next one. It's like, how much time I got? Oh man, I got 30 minutes left on my lunch break. All right, yeah, let's watch the second one, right? So like, dude, that's when I started becoming a fan of the series, because dude, I was fascinated by the Nin system. The Nin system is really, really cool.
There's different types of Nin, of course.
Did you want to talk on that? I'll let you.
Hold on, because I'm trying to remember actually, because I'm coming into this like I will almost say like it's been a minute since I've actually gone through. But I know you have the special, because there's a special class that I know that Kurapika can use with like his chains, but I know we're gonna get into that later. Then you have the enhanced. Was it the enhanced?
Yes, you have
enhanced. Mm-hmm. What's the one that Killua can use?
Killua, he's the elemental type.
Elemental type.
So like what is it called? Manipulator? Is it manipulator? I think it's the elemental type.
Manipulator. And then you had because I could have swear there was like at least like 5 types. Let me see.
Oh no, dude, it's like 7. It's 7? Like 7.
Let me see here. I'm gonna have to look this up. It's been a minute. Hold on.
Actually, yeah, I'm about to do that too. I'm gonna hit up Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, I got it pulled up now. There's enhancer, transmuter, conjurer, specialist, manipulator, and emitter.
So it's 5.
Yeah, and then you had the specialist. I believe that was what Kurapika was, if I'm not mistaken.
Kurapika, yeah. Kurapika's a specialist. Gon is an enhancer, and I want to say Killua. What was the other ones? It was conjurer,
transmuter, manipulator, emitter, and enhancer. Gon's the enhancer.
Dang, I'm trying to remember which one Killua was then.
I believe he was the transmuter, if I'm not mistaken. Because if you remember, I feel like I'm really jumping up or skipping ahead a little bit, but he took those, tasers or whatnot to kind of shock himself, to kind of, I think, to learn how to use that ability. So he ended up, if I'm not mistaken, that's how he ended up being able to get the ability. I'm sure someone in the comments section will probably be able to remember better than I can now, since it's been a minute since I've actually went through it, but I don't see anybody saying anything.
Right. I got you. So yeah, Heaven's Arena. I mean, that's pretty much like what the main crux of Heaven. Like that's the main point for that story arc, is to introduce the Nin system, which is really cool, dude. Like just the level of detail Togashi does in like developing that system.
Oh yes, that's my favorite thing about the series.
Was really cool. And then so here's the other thing too, though. So how you have different types, right? But don't forget, so the nin system, not only does it classify people's abilities as different types, but then people can also have dual types.
Yes, you can. You know,
They can have, and I think the way they said it's like most of the types they will work either adjacent to each other because they had the whole like diagram, right? And it's like they can work adjacent to each other, or because I don't think you could be like two opposite types, because that was the other thing too, like different types like opposed each other.
no, that's true. That's true. And that's why I'm trying to remember exactly which one. Because I don't know, Kurapika to me is so key, or Kurapika is really key in this.
Nick is in the building.
Let me see.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, what's going on?
Are you on the clock?
Not yet. But it just came to come by and hear you talking one of my favorite series. Because right when I just listened, I heard you say you was talking about the power scheme, and I was like, I have to get into that a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm only gonna be here for brief. And if you hear like a weird loud noise, that's probably like an airplane going by. But I can't stay long because working. So, and I don't want to be disrupting the stream and stuff. So I got time.
I got you. So Nick, since you came in saying it's like, oh, y'all talking about one of my favorite animes, where does it fall? Like if you had to rank in terms of your favorite, where's Hunter x Hunter?
What, as far as like my top? Like a top 10?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would have to put it like a 5 or maybe a 7 because of other series.
Gotcha. Okay, so like mid top 10.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay, cool. All right. So back to Heaven's Arena. So essentially, that's the main crux for Heaven's Arena. It introduces the power system in the series, and like I said, it's an excuse for some pretty kick-ass fights. The most popular one is the Hisoka Gong fight. That's anybody watching the stream, watching the review. It's like if you haven't seen the actual series, there's probably a really good chance you've already seen clips from that fight. It's probably one of the most popular ones, if not the most popular one.
Oh yeah, the way they worked the camera in the anime in terms of how I don't know if you remember like just the way that the animation was done, in terms of I love the way that fight was handled. I mean, when they kind of cut the music for a moment, when you just had tension building up when Gon was trying to go in for a hit on Hisoka and then he's raising the floor. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
And then and there's no music. All you hear is the pat.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
what is I'm still trying to find like the type of that Kurapika had as far as
he was a specialist.
Yeah, but I know I could have swore there was something.
I think he was my guess is wrong. I think he was a summoner, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Conjurer.
A conjurer. I think so. Because those chains weren't real.
Oh, let me see here. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Those chains are like a construct that he invented,
and he can only use them on the Phantom Troop.
Yeah. Oh, and seeing that's the other thing too is like with specialists, they like specialists are like the most broken skill set in the entire fucking series, right? Because essentially the specialists, I mean, granted, because other ones can do it too, because we find out Gong ended up doing it, right? Where the whole notion of like conditions, right? So it's like because that's Gong's second thing. I think his is he's an enhancer and a specialist. Because he can set conditions for himself.
Oh yes, you're all right about that. I do remember that.
Yeah, and so but like the specialist is kind of fucking broken because essentially a specialist gives you the ability to do just about it gives you any power you want, right? Like it gives you any power you want, so long as Anime Rick's in the building. He says it's a conjurer. Yeah, so it's a specialist and a conjurer. It's Kurapika's type, right? And essentially, a specialist is like, yeah, dude, so long as you are able to fulfill the conditions that you set for your ability, your ability is unbeatable.
you know something, and this is slightly off topic, but it has everything to do with this arc. Did anybody else think that they had the sickest ending for this particular arc? Like, I think it was ending 2, you know, in terms of the music, like the credits. You know what I'm talking about? Because
Is that the one that
you talking
features
about for the
Phantom
second? You
Troop
talking
on
about the
it?
second
Yes.
season, right? With the Phantom
Oh
Troop.
yeah,
Oh, yes,
that one's fly.
That's my particular favorite of
That one's
all
fly.
the.
That was best. That was for the whole. Honestly, that beat any ending they had in All Star. That was like my favorite track. I honestly, like, I would be bumping that in my car. That's how much I love that song. You know, honestly.
My only problem that gets into another thing, because my only problem has always been the opening too. They always had to play the same opening. Now, if you had the older Hunter x Hunter, those had different openings back then. But this one, you know, always plays the same one over and
So
I
over.
like the opening though. Specifically the second verse. I like the second verse.
I thought they were going with that mainly.
I like the
Togashi had that
opening
one.
when it's in certain arcs, like the Chimera Ant one.
Oh yeah, it worked well in that one. The way that they did it, you know. Na, 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 na,
Yeah. All right. So okay. So yeah. So pretty much with Heaven's Arena, that's when Gong and Killua start learning. Essentially, that's when they start learning how to use Nin, right? And then, of course, that's when we find out that like they're just learning how to use Nin. Everybody else already knew how to freaking use Nin. Like Hisoka knew how to use it, and pretty much everybody else they already knew. They were kind of behind the ball on that one, right? So after that is when we set up for. I'm gonna be real with y'all. My favorite story arc of the series.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Yorknew City, baby.
Oh,
good.
like
City,
Yorknew,
baby.
Yorknew City's pretty good.
It was one of the for sure.
It's I think that's one's my second favorite.
Said screw Gon. It's all about Kurapika.
What do okay? So here's the thing though, dude. Okay, all right. Here's the thing though. So I'll admit total bias. Yorknew City is my favorite one. Number one, that's Yorknew City, right? Or it's supposed to be New York, right?
Yeah.
So so that's stateside for that one, right? So that's number one. Number two, bruh, I am a mob fanatic. I love mob shit, and the mob is all over that series, dude. Even the Phantom Troop themselves act like they're a criminal organization. Like once we started doing that, dude.
Here's the interesting thing. They're supposed to be a criminal organization of thieves, but they end up killing people and do certain things from time to time.
Yeah. They're supposed to be thieves, but yeah, they do like assassinations and hits and all this type of jazz too, right? So yeah, dude, it's like with the fan troop, then we get introduced to the actual like mafiosos of the Hunter x Hunter world. Like, dude, like the whole thing with the fucking auction. Oh man, bruh, I was loving that. Oh, and one of my favorite fights from this series. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. Two of my favorite fights in the entire series is in that story arc. The Kurapika Uvojin fight is probably my favorite one in the series.
That's one of your favorites.
Yeah,
my favorite from there was it I'm trying to remember his name right now. Corolio versus Killua's grandfather.
Yeah, Zeno and Silva. That's my second favorite.
Mm-hmm.
That's my second favorite.
Too.
That's my second favorite, dude. Oh my god, dude, Zeno and freaking Silva. Oh Jesus, them boys so beast. Oh man. Oh, dude, in that scene with the opera music going on and shit, I was like, oh my god, it was so cool. Dude. So okay, so now that I'm geeking out, right? Now that I'm done geeking. So pretty much what Yorknew City, right? So would you guys agree Yorknew City is probably the first story arc that really centers on a specific character arc? Because Yorknew City is really Kurapika's arc, like you mentioned, Irvin. That's Kurapika's arc.
Technically, I don't know if it's completely the first one, but maybe. I mean, only because I'm like, well, maybe that second mini arc, kind of was a little bit, but then again, we didn't get a whole lot of, it wasn't long enough to really, really flesh out anything that much, as far as like with Killua, So I mean, that was more of an introduction to his character, or really a true introduction to, I guess you could say his history. So I would say, yeah, definitely Kurapika. This really dove into more of what, everything that they kind of foreshadowed in the first arc. Of course, whenever we seen him, get angry, like what was it when he fought I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was the guy that Killua ended up killing with like crushing his heart, if I'm not mistaken. I just remember there was one particular scene where like we see Kurapika
in the Hunter exam.
Yeah. And he, ends up holding this guy up or whatnot. So I mean, we got the, kind of a glimpse of what, a little bit about what his character, might have to face coming up, as far as losing his whole, I don't know if you say people, his clan or whatever you want to call it, with their eyes. And finally we get a chance. And I think it's funny.
That was his clan.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me say this. I would have to agree with more Larry. I feel like that is more the first arc, just for the fact that it's really solely focused a lot more on him. Because I mean, at the beginning, it does show a little bit of Gon and all that stuff, but we're getting the introduction of all these characters that are actually the main characters of this story. I mean, this whole series. So then it shifts over to where he's at, where you get more about his backstory. What are his goals? Why is he doing what he's doing? And who's the people that are against him?
Oh, I'm with that.
Yeah. So, so essentially, Yorknew City is, for the most part, Yorknew City is the character of Kurapika, his revenge plot against the Phantom Troop, which is the group responsible for the the eradication of his people, because they were harvested, his people were harvested
and their eyes were sold on the black market.
You know what? Damn it, Irvin! I was actually going to keep one in secret. I was like, I was for the sake. I was like, with the detail, the specific detail, I wanted to keep a mystery. All right, yeah, his people were killed, and they were harvested for their eyes, right? These crimson red eyes that they have, right? Which that might sound very familiar to people. Oh, he's an Avenger, the last of his clan, and they all have red eyes, and they were wiped out. Just saying.
Well, the last one. The question is, who started it first, though?
It was actually Hunter.
Hunter was published in 1998. Naruto was published in 99.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there's
no
way around that. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair.
Anyway, so Yorknew City is pretty much Kurapika's quest to finally face the Phantom Troop, right? Meanwhile, while this is going on, we have Gon, Killua, and Leorio. They reunite because they are trying to acquire the Greed Island tape, which is supposed to be up for auction. Well, no, not just the tape, the whole console, I think, right? Like the whole system, right? It's up for auction at the what is it? Like the Underworld auction?
Yes,
the Underworld auction, right? Because it's like a private auction between mobsters and stuff. And what happens is these two seemingly separate storylines end up crossing paths with each other. So because on the one hand you have Kurapika going after the Phantom Troop, you have Gon and Killua going after this video game, this rare video game at an auction, but the Phantom Troop is also trying to hit the auction. So all three of those like stories seem to collide. And me personally, dude, man, look, let me tell y'all something. I said all I said about some of the fights that's in here, but dude, real talk, bruh. Some of the most suspenseful episodes, dude. The episode when Gon and Killua are being held at the Phantom Troop's hideout.
Oh yeah,
and they have to try to escape. Dude,
I remember that.
Dude,
no,
with
what I liked
what is
about
it? It was
that episode. Because remember what I liked about that episode. Around that area of the arc is remember who was helping out Kurapika in the mix?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because he's always been. I mean, he's always been that wild card, and that's one thing I kind of like his character. I mean, he's very, very strange, but pretty interesting at the same time.
One thing I say that this arc did a very good job in is that the Phantom Troop definitely feel like like a threat. They don't like you at no point. Honestly, there was a lot of parts in the arc where I'm like, man, like it feels like Kurapika is like the only one who really has any chance of maybe being able to do something. And that's just because of the amount of planning that he did going into this. He really had to pull a lot of the strings or a lot of the chains in order to make this happen. For him to be able to do what he wanted to do to them, in this arc, and actually be able to, take them on. But as far as other characters like Gon, Killua, we were just mentioning, I'm honestly felt afraid for them in this arc, because a lot of times they felt like I was like, what can you guys do against them? They're experienced. They know how to use their net. They know how to run the underground world. What can you really?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. But I mean, that's why Yorknew's my favorite. Just because. And then here's the other thing too. Even the conclusion of that arc, like you said, dude, they could not outmuscle their way. Even as powerful as Kurapika was, they couldn't outmuscle the Phantom Troop in that arc. They still had to devise a scheme to be able to pull that off, which is actually pretty genius, I thought. The way that that Kurapika is finally able to, like, quote unquote, take down the Phantom Troop, quote unquote. I thought was actually pretty genius.
Oh no, it definitely was. It was different, and it had a price to it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really cool. And then so once again, Heaven's Arena sets up I'm sorry, not Heaven's Arena. Yorknew City is the setup for Greed Island. Now, Urban, I need to take a sip of water. Would you like to oh, it's your least favorite? Great.
Yes.
Tell the people about Greed Island.
See, okay, Greed Island, what it serves to really do is it's really a training arc at heart. But the problem with this training arc, I mean, it starts off, of course, you have Killua and Gon that enter into this world. So you kind of think Sword Art Online. It's like as if you take Hunter x Hunter and you're putting these characters now in a virtual world where now they have to learn how this game actually plays. So they have like this book, if I remember correctly, that opens up and it has some of these spells in there. And of course, while they're in there, they're having to go through with their their mission, why they actually went in there. Now, here's the thing. While it does serve as a training arc and they actually end up meeting their teacher, Biscay, that part wasn't so bad, but I feel like it takes a long time to actually get to, the actual conflict that you see at the end. Now, I will say this. It has one of the better fights in the series, at least when it comes to Gon. And you actually see him actually really come a little bit more into his own in terms of honing his abilities, like his Nen abilities. So in the previous arcs where you might have only seen him use like some of the basic Nen abilities, you actually see him use the more of the I can't even say it, the Jajanken in this arc. And you see it a lot more, of course. But I don't know, it just felt really slow. Like, Larry, how did you feel how did you feel about this arc in terms of like its pacing, I would say?
So I agree with you. Greed Island pretty much is like the training arc. The first half of it is just slow. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, like, Greed Island didn't start to pick up until they start training with Biscuit, who I love, by the way. Oh my god, I love her so much. Dude, so dude, so much I in Biscuit. I guess Biscuit. So much Genkai in her. Oh my god, dude, she is so awesome.
Genkai except young.
But yeah, Greed Island doesn't start picking up on.
So what?
Wait, hang on. I think you're lagging a little bit. Lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let me jump out, jump back in.
Okay, cool deal. So like I was saying, so yeah, the first half of Greed Island, like it's a little slow, and the reason for it is because Gong and Killua they still have to like play through this like video game, right? Um, yeah, they have to like play through it. So we have to learn the rules about the game. We have to learn how. Yo,
Oh, what's up? I hope that fixed it a little bit.
yeah, you're coming through better.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I agree. The first half of Greed Island, it is pretty damn slow. Like I was just saying, because Gong and Killua still have to. They are still at the mercy of the game. So they still have to play the game too, right? And their objective for entering Greed Island is to get to the end of the game in the first place. Because I think didn't they say like the only person to have ever beat the game was Jing?
Yes. You know,
Right.
You know, which I mean, you could say is why they had to go through this goal because you know, what goal that follows Gon's ultimate goal, which is
Right, which
obviously
is to find his father. Yes.
Yes.
So, which somebody pointed out in the comments because I said that Hunter x Hunter doesn't really have an overarching, which for the record it kind of doesn't though, because even when we get Jing, yeah, the other G. Even when we get Jing in the series, though, it's like at that point. Well, I mean, okay, for the sake of the anime, yes, I guess you could say that's the overarching thing, right? Because the stories, because once Jing's introduced, like the story pivots into something else, right? But so anywho, but so yeah, so like Gong and Killua are in this, they're in Greed Island to finish the game. That's why they went, right? So they still have to learn to play it. And we're learning how the game works the same time they're learning how the game works. So we have to learn what are the physics, the mechanics, the limitations, the rules, how the game is played. We also have to learn, because this is the important part, how their nin abilities reflect themselves, like how they're manifested in the game.
Exactly. You know, that's definitely true.
Nick, you are not about to drive and be on the live stream at the same time, bro.
Get off your phone. Parked. I'm parked, man. You forgot I'm trolling. I'm just parked.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're moving on. All right. So, okay. Well, Nick, since you just jumped in, what did you think of Greed Island?
All right. Here's what I know about Greed Island. I feel like it's my least or second to least favorite arc in the whole series, because compared to the first series. Now, what I learned about the background behind that is, you know, it's pretty much it's like a video game. Video game world, do a whole bunch of different stuff and all that. And if you know anything about the creator of Hunter x Hunter, he loves video games. And not only that, there actually is a really good video game, which only in Japan, that focuses on Greed Island. So to me, how I felt about it, it was really interesting. I mean, there's certain parts that I liked about it, but certain things I were annoyance of. I liked it more about the overstyle lore and certain things we learned with Nen and all that, and certain little characters here and there, especially when anything with the Phantom Troop is going on. Those are the stuff I really like. But above all, you know, it's not my favorite arc.
Oh yeah, definitely had a good finale though. Conflict.
Yeah, I would probably say, you know that Greed. Okay, so yeah, Greed Island. I don't know, man. Greed Island might be three, because the second half of it is really good. Especially once the like the sports competition that they had to do. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That was pretty good. That's like one of those best highlight moments. Especially seeing Soko working together with him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, when they had to do the dodgeball game and everything. Yeah, dude. Like, because that was the trial they had to go through to get like one of the last cards in the game, dude. Like when it gets to the point where all of the cards in the game in the position of like the parties, right? So Gong and Killua, the Bombers group, and then what was the other hunter? I forget his name. Damn, what was his name? Don't worry about it. Anyway, but yeah, like once all of the cards are in the possession of the three parties, and it's just a matter of getting the different cards from each other, that's when Greed Island picks up. That's when it starts getting really good. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I'll say it again. I'm sure this is my 10th time saying it, but I'm like, that finale was definitely one of my favorite parts for sure. That final conflict,
the bomber fight, yeah.
Oh yeah, like that's one of the more brutal fights I'll say of the series. When you see what's going on, when you see what happens to Gon during that fight, that's pretty brutal. I mean, it's not his most brutal technically, but
no, it's not his most brutal. We're about to get to that. It's not his most brutal. And then of course, dude, remember this: Greed Island has one of the best cliffhanging twists at the end of it.
Yeah,
you remember that one?
I bet that pissed you off, Larry, huh?
About the guy who can.
Yeah,
the guy.
That's what I'm saying. I bet that pissed you off.
Don't tell him what it is, Nick. Don't tell him what it is.
Oh yeah, I know, but don't
tell him what it is. But you know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not like
the brother man who could do certain things.
I think I remember who you're talking about.
And the character who was on his name.
Hold on, you're cutting out a little bit. Let me jump back out.
Oh, Irving, you killing it. Anyway, it's a cool. Oh man, technical difficulties. White man holding him back. Okay, all right. So, well, I feel like I should wait for Irving because this is the part he's been waiting to talk about.
Okay, Irving, you're talking about
man.
Chimera Ant arc.
We about to get there.
Oh,
you still lagging a little bit. White man holding you back, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's how I'm feeling. Let me see here. I wonder if I. One sec.
Larry's Hatsu limit is causing the lag. It ain't me.
I think I'm good now.
It ain't me.
Am I caught up with you guys now?
I mean, I hear you clearly,
part, yeah.
But there may be a little lag, a little bit here and there, like some weird mess. But even for the area I'm at, ain't the best area, and I'm near the beach.
Yeah, I'm not using a laptop or anything, so I'm kind of surprised it's doing that. But I'm all plugged in. But
I just made an adjustment to some stuff. It might be able to help. Hopefully, it'll be able to help.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. So yeah. So we just finished Greed Island. Okay. So Greed Island concludes. All right, because once again, we are talking, some spoilers in this view. Greed Island concludes with Gon finishing the game. He gets to the end of the game, finds out, guess what? Your pappy ain't here. Once again, that low life, flea bitten vagabond of a pops that he got, but Gon and Killua get teleported to a man who was a student of Gon's dad, and that's Kite.
Exactly.
And Kite is one of those big game hunters, or a wildlife hunter, if you will, that I mentioned earlier in the review. And this is the start of what is known as the Chimera Ant arc. Now, Irvin, since this one's your favorite, and my throat is dry,
to be fair, this one is my favorite too.
All right, I'm ready for this one. Okay, so the Chimera Ant arc.
Well, you know what? Y'all just gonna have to take turns.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
y'all gonna have to take turns.
I mean, I let him take the floor. I mean, I tell about the interesting stuff why I love it.
Okay, so anyway, the Chimera Ant arc pretty much serves as an arc for both Killua and Gon, but I really feel like it pushes. Actually, both of the characters are really well developed during this arc. Actually, I would say that you almost see a little bit of a role reversal, a little bit between Gon and Killua during this arc. Now, I don't want to get into any big spoilers of what happens, but let's just say Gon, of course, you see him spend a lot of time with Kite. Kite is basically serves almost like kind of like a mentor to Gon in this arc. And we actually even find out later on that, he knew Kite, I believe, previously too. So he had a little bit of a relationship to Kite. He's familiar with Kite. Anyway, him and Killua pretty much, go on a journey with Kite, and then they end up finding, what was it? There was these Chimera Ants, if I'm not mistaken, that they end up coming across. But in any case, as they're going through this journey, we also find out too about there's a nest of I'm trying to remember the exact part where it started. Help me out here a little bit in terms of one sec. Give me 1 second here. Okay. So after we get to past the part where Kite, and them actually do what was it? I'm trying to remember the very first mission in this case. Give me 1 second here, guys. Hold on.
I mean, as far as anything is a mission I can remember right at that beginning, because it's been so long since
I know, that's what I'm trying to remember.
They were trying to find the Ant Queen.
The Ant Queen. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. So we actually, now this is the part that I remember more of anything. So the Ant Queen, we actually see the Ant Queen taking in people to her nest. It starts off with like these little kids, and she ends up consuming these kids, right? Now, this whole arc really feels like Planet of the Apes, in my opinion, in terms of its feel. It's basically her giving birth to these Chimera Ants. And as she's giving birth to these Chimera Ants, they have different characteristics because they're, each time she gives birth to one, they're bringing back different species to to her nest so that she can one, consume them, and then two, be able to give birth to an even stronger Chimera Ant, right? So it's almost like you're having a lot of you're showing a cycle of reincarnation throughout this whole arc in a sense, because each time there's a new Chimera Ant, it's basically whoever it was that she consumed, they're reborn in a way, right? And someone said the pacing's really bad. I don't know about that. I don't really think the pacing was that bad during the arc.
I mean, if we're going to talk about anime pacing, this show, the series as a whole, is nowhere near as that compared to other ones we've seen out, even certain popular ones. Some I don't have to mention the name.
But in any case,
pacing, never been a problem.
I would
maybe in certain arcs
I would say with the Chimera Ant arc, the pacing is the same that it is for the other arcs. It starts off slow. It's a slow build. Because why would I say that? Consider how many episodes there are before the king is even born. Dude, that's what? Is that even halfway through the arc?
The king was born about at the halfway part. But that's the thing. This arc,
that's 30 episodes in.
Yeah.
Arc is 62 episodes.
But
I'm sorry, but see, this is what I not just because it's one of my favorite, but this one has a really interesting plot and story in between it, and a lot of little other side stories to this arc. So I'm this couldn't have been a slow pace one that could not get you invested, especially on how the stuff it is. And I'm seeing a lot of people who are fans of the series love this arc, and if you ever watch this arc, you understand for that reason. Because a lot of stuff plays into it, and there's a lot of characters and a lot of organizations and groups all involved on this, Chimera Ant conflict.
But the four characters that really
this
arc really developed, in my opinion, and then you see, and it really focuses on, of course, is Gon. I don't know if a lot of people would mention it, but Killua, and then on top of that, then you have Meruem, and then you also have Komugi. Now, we haven't even talked about Meruem and Komugi, of course, right? Meruem is basically the Chimera Ant king, and we see him be born later on in the arc, of course. And when he is born, then, of course, he ends up getting, you end up bringing Komugi in, who basically, she's, a blind girl who kind of serves as a, you almost want to say entertainment a little bit for the king, but it ends up developing into something much more later on. I just wanted to say that piece. What you were saying, Larry?
Yep. So what I was saying was once, like I said, just going back to the whole pacing issue, like I said, it's about halfway through the series before Meruem's even born, and then consider the amount of time when Gon, like the training period that Gon and Killua will have in that arc, when we get introduced to Knuckles and Shoot, and what's the chick's name? The
And
BPD
Pam,
chick?
Pam.
What is it?
Oh,
It's Pam.
oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, I see her face just as clear. She ends up
I
being
think
like
her
a.
name is Pam, but I'm not sure. So
Hold on, I'm gonna.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, but like let's look at like how many dude, like how
Palm.
many
You're talking about
episodes
Palm.
is that?
oh, okay.
Palm, yeah. So it's like, so how many episodes was that, right? Like the it's like an arc with mini arcs.
Yes, no, I'd agree with
Because you
that.
can kind of say everything before him like its own little mini arc, right? Then the whole Gon Killua training piece is its own mini arc, and then it's not until they regroup for final mission. Because dude, that mission was that was a long ass mission,
Okay. To be fair,
and that's kind
because
of
you know
like
when
its
you
own
say
little arc too.
okay, when you call it mini arcs, you gotta think of it like this: the way that he wanted to do that arc is like, okay, let's say you do a movie. You know, you go to here, to that event, to that event, to that event, and you cut out all the fat. This arc shows a lot more of the fat of what's going on because you got Killua and Gon training
Yeah.
for them to infiltrate this country and, you know, in secrecy to do certain things what they're supposed to do in order to deal with this Chimera Ant threat.
But see, this
And it's
arc
a lot
also
of
was a lot about survival. And that's what I liked about it. You know, it was about survival.
this arc
you know?
had a lot more to deal with than just survival in this one. There was
Well,
a
of
lot
course,
of
but I think that's one of the themes. You know, survival of the fittest, almost kind of in a way. You know, I mean, you look at it. I mean, that's why I said it kind of gave that Planet of the Apes type of feel to it to me. You know, when just watching the whole thing. You know, like I mean, again, just the whole concept of the Chimera Ants, like basically taking everything from each species and kind of, you know, them having these Chimera Ants pretty much having the best parts, you know, of, you know, whatever species that I guess you could say the Chimera Ant, you know, queen ended up retrieving, you know, and creating. And you can say Chimera Ant or the Chimera Ant queen herself pretty much is like this is a mutation anyway, because you have Chimera Ants, but they weren't like her in particular as the queen. You know, of course, and that's how you have this whole debacle or situation that gets a little bit too out of hand, you know, in this arc. I mean, you don't see, of course, in this arc, you don't see like the Phantom Troop or wait, actually, no, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
the
talk
freaking
a little about that.
At what is it, Meteor City?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're at Meteor City.
I think when the ants make it to Meteor City, yeah, the troop showed up.
Well, you get to see a lot more of the other.
Here's the funny part. All right, for me looking into this series, because you know, I always heard people talk about, oh, you gotta get ready for the Chimera, or you gotta get ready for the Chimera. So I'm like, okay, right from the beginning, I'm like, okay, there's some intrigue and all this stuff. But right when I started hearing, because you know, I'm a music guy, and right when I heard the theme of the music of this and all different other music things playing in this arc, like one of my favorites, if you ever look it up, it's called Kingdom of Predators. For the Chimera, that was one of the music that stole the show from me. I'm like, all right, this arc is way different than what I think it is, and you see all the interesting characters all dealing around with this threat. And right when the Phantom Troop came in, I was like, all right, this is already my favorite arc so far, and you don't have to even ask, you know, for anything. And they still added more to you when the chairman shows up of the hunter. You know who I'm talking about, the Pharaoh.
Oh yeah, of course.
To deal with this threat himself. And the way that this series ends on this arc is the most kind of like realistic thing that you can think of how to dealing with this kind of threat. Because it wasn't no like stupid power up. It wasn't like no thing of that. They did a option B option that was something that we would have done ourselves.
Oh yeah.
In order to deal with the Meryl.
So, yeah, I feel like the conflict.
That is true.
One thing that was different about this arc is that it wasn't. there was a conflict. Like, of course, if you look at Gon as like the main character, right? You know, there you did see him go through his own conflict, but it wasn't done in a way that you would think, a writer would end typically, an arc, because you never really see, and I don't know, am I saying too much if I really see him for a certain someone?
Wait, if you're saying too much, wait, I was getting lag. What's up?
Do you think I'm saying too much if I say you never really see Gon encounter a certain someone?
No, you can talk about P2.
No. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about Pito. I'm gonna say, who Pito serves. We never see Gon encounter,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, but we weren't. Yeah. Okay, but you know what though? I don't think that's that big of a spoiler, cause it kind of makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Definitely, I definitely think Gon's character arc makes sense. I love his character arc in this particular arc of the series. But we never actually see, and I guess what I'm gonna say, for anybody who out there wants to know, we never see Gon actually encounter the king. So in some ways, it's really not about the king, but at the same time, it is, because King has his own arc. It's very interesting.
See, but this is the one of the things why I like the creator for what the stuff he does. He throws some stuff that he breaks a lot of stereotypical roles in his series. So this is one of those ones where, like, the main character that we know, he ain't gonna fight the biggest bad guy. It's gonna be somebody else. So,
yeah. They never meet the entire arc, and I'm fine with that. Honestly, him facing, or having that conflict with Pito, serves enough, especially after what Pito does earlier on in the arc that serves to plunge Gon's character into a darker place. And that's the important thing about this arc. You see almost like a role reversal between the innocent, happy-go-lucky Gon and Killua, who was known to be more of the darker character amongst their group.
Oh, no, yeah, no doubt. I mean, this arc focuses a lot with the relationship, a lot. It really does focus a lot about their relationship. I was gonna say this, guys. I said, would you thought it would have been cool if Hisoka would have got into that arc, especially with the Chimera Ants?
Yeah, he didn't. He had no. Yeah, he had like almost no role.
That would have been. I'm just saying that would have been pretty awesome if he was in that arc.
No, it would have been interesting. I'm just trying to figure out what he would have, what role he really could have played. Because even when it came to, like, for example, like the troop, the troop, their only role in there at this point was to, of course, and I can't really say what it, say too much about what it was, because then it gives away, of course, the preview or the 2 arcs ago what happens. But basically, to be able to kind of resolve what happened in 2 arcs ago to their group.
I mean, to basic for people to understand that they were hired a job to do something, pretty much. That's what they always do.
Yeah. Let me see what. Before we move on, what else did you guys want to talk about the Chimera Ant arc? I mean, it is like we're talking about like the most. This is like the most popular story arc of the series, right? Because this is where the Meruem Natoro fight is.
There was no better arc for a lot, and I would say than this arc so far. I would definitely say, because this arc has repercussions going even forward. Arcs after.
Yeah, that stuff relates all the way back from the beginning of the series, because you see a couple of certain characters that appear in there.
Yeah, so definitely that. I mean, even Killua, I feel like it's like I said, it served to develop him. I really feel like it got both of them over the hump. Because again, you saw that dark. It showed that, hey, Gon can go there. Gon really can go there. He's not just some kid, just on a journey to look for his father. There's more, his kid. There's a lot more that, if Gon was pushed, you can see him go a lot further than what we've actually seen previously. And then Killua, it shows that, Gon is actually having an effect on him.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Because I missed most of that Chimera Ant arc conversation. But then again, like I've talked about that in the videos and whatnot. I mean, writing wise, I think it's the best one of the series. Easy. Kind of unfair because so it has it has sort of advantages that others don't, but it also has advantages like we talked about with the pacing. Some of it's so. But I like the conflict overall. I like the characters. So I like just about like the like Meruem and Kork. I like all of them, right? Um, most honors that were part of that response team. Laurel and Knuckle Shoot Palm. Who else was in there? The Hunters, because there's some ants.
And there were a few others. Too. I can't remember the names.
I keep forgetting.
Who's the guy
boy's name with the glasses. That's Morel.
Yeah, Morel. Okay.
He's talking about the other. He's talking about the guy.
Yeah, dude, Morel's cool, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Morel's so cool.
Okay.
There is
one. Now you got me thinking about this part. You got me thinking about a part.
Wait. One at a time. What's up, Nick?
Oh, no, okay. So you got me thinking about this part. Was you shocked when? Okay, remember when T2 ran into Killua's grandfather, and his father just comes out of nowhere, just outright just obliterates him.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wait, who?
I said.
Oh
no, you don't remember that? Yeah,
you're talking about the infiltration scene.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, that was pretty
wild.
I
do remember. No, you know what? I do remember it.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
I think one of the trippy things about this arc is just some of the things that you see the ants do, to some of the people. Like I always felt bad. Like, of course, like I mentioned about the Chimera Ant Queen, how she like took the kids and, of course, like ate them. So it seemed like, oh man, it's kind of messed up, right? But when I don't know if you remember a scene where we saw one of the hunters actually, Pedo was like probing their brain. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You guys remember that? I thought that was so trippy. So you had like little scenes like that were really trippy in terms of you're like, dang, what's really going on in that nest?
Well, don't forget they're growing apex predators. They're absorbing and evolving every time, for very giant rate. I mean, all the creatures that the Chimera ants consume, even though they still look like animals or people or certain other things, they still got a lot of insect traits in them. And even the creator shows that or draws that in certain things. Like I was looking at certain facts of that series where even the ones that had the spots and all that stuff, that's supposed to be I don't know the scientific term of it, but that's like ants with like many eyes and stuff like that. When you see like certain creatures with like those line tattoos on them and stuff, or some of them got those appendages that are like part of the exoskeleton and things like that.
Oh, okay. Or do you guys remember the scene where there was that kind of like that centaur Chimera Ant, and he like had the guys on the chain, like the two men on the chain or whatever, like they were like naked and chained up, and he was like, that's when Killua and Gon and Kite in the beginning, where they were what was it? Let me see if I can find the guy's name. He was a Chimera Ant. He had like two of the, I think it was when they went for the NGO. Do you remember NGO?
It'll be like
when they infiltrated the base.
Yeah, but I thought the ant that was the centaur, that was the crew that the Phantom Troop ended up taking out because they broke off and tried to start their own.
No. He wasn't. That centaur one. Yeah, he was working for the Queen and all the. I mean, Mary and those people. No, but that bringing up that. Yeah, there were a lot of other potential ants trying to be their own queens and stuff and breaking apart. And that's where it became like a bigger threat.
Oh yeah, like that one Phaeton.
Yeah, and not only that, if you really think about it and paid attention to the series, not all of them ants are dead. So there's still some roaming around, doing their own thing.
Oh yeah.
Those were the ones that were like allowed to to stay.
Well, no, not the ones that are allowed to stay. There's the ones
like,
that the ones
them,
that also left. There was ones that also left that they're like, fuck it, we'll do our own thing. Like you already got the one with the Scorpion girl who dealt with in Meteor City that came that route.
She got killed.
Yeah,
she
but there were others that she got killed, ironically. But there was others that left because I saw certain ones like I saw the crocodile looking one guy and a few others. And
I thought most of the ones.
And not only that, there's also a hint where this one character maybe might be alive or not. You're talking about the NGO thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a character named Gyro. So he.
I used to like theorize like is Gyro, maybe the king, and like is he not the king? I know people when that first came out kind of used to question that too, but
yeah, even Miriam said go find the guy you're looking for, and he could be in Meteor City. I mean, that's one of the biggest interesting things of the arc too. That makes me really want to go see more of Meteor City because that's also where the Phantom Troop's home place is. That's where Leorio's hometown is. One of my favorite characters, and it's like, I really want to see when they get into that.
Right. All right. So, any other thoughts on the Chimera Ant arc?
Not anything that I can think of off the top of my head, other than everything I've already said as far as how awesome a lot of the scenes are conducted and just the trippy, I would just say, survival kind of feel the arc has. It constantly feels like you're just on a journey of survival. Even when it came to when they ran and they stormed the the palace, right? When they stormed the palace and it's almost like it's almost like it went into Frieza time, if you know what I mean. And I say Frieza time. Like 5 minutes, like the whole
because it was like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah,
it
the
lasted
whole arc.
like 5 episodes or something.
Yeah, and they're like, only 30 seconds has passed,
okay. Well, to be fair, a lot of stuff had to be into play in order for them to do this infiltration arc right. I mean, even this could be like, if I can give an example, like, maybe SWAT teams storming in a building or something. They have to, precisely do this in less than, a couple of seconds and minutes at the most in order to do what they got to do, or else all their plans would be failed.
And then the other thing too was you had like, what was it? It was like 3 groups or like 4 groups. Yeah. And they're showing you what's happening with each group during that time period.
That's true.
So because you had like what 3 of the groups were like top side, and then you had the group in the lower level.
Yep, and you even had certain characters doing their own thing. You didn't know what happened to them or not.
Yeah, like Nadero and Zeno.
Or Palm.
Yeah. The thing with dude, you didn't find out about the shit with Palm until like midway through the operation, and it was like the fuck, dude. I'll tell you this though, dude. But hey, dude, by the end of that arc, man, her power was kind of broken too.
Oh yep. She definitely surprised me. I wasn't expecting that.
When she got her little upgrade, her shit was kind of broken.
Nah, it's interesting when a lot of things, a lot of characters that change.
Yeah. But yeah, the arc was pretty good. All right, so the last arc of this series, right, is the chairman election arc. So, all I'm gonna tell y'all is some shit happened to the chairman in the previous arc, and he don't work there no more. So, the chairman election arc is when the Hunter Association is pretty much they have to elect a new chairman, right? So, in order to do this, they call a meeting of the Zodiacs, right? The Zodiacs, which are like the 12 like best hunters in the entire association, right? And this is when we finally get introduced to Gene, right? Because his flea bitten, trifling ass no child support paying, no visitation having ass. You know, this bum, right, is like one of the 12 best hunters in the world, right? So he's one of the Zodiacs, right? And essentially what you have is it's like a board of 12 fighting amongst themselves to who's going to be the new chairman. While this is going on, see that Chimera Ant arc that we were just got done talking about, see Gon got messed up. Like bad. Like that boy was hurting like he ain't never, like you didn't even know a person could hurt the way he was hurting, right? So Gong is like
inabilities to the extreme.
Right. So like Gong is knocking on death's door, right? Meanwhile, this is where right, yeah. And then meanwhile, this is where the Zoldyck family drama from Killua's story from way back in the series kind of comes back to the forefront. Because let's be real about this. Chairman election arc, that's really Killua's arc. That's really Killua's arc.
Yeah, I guess with the whole
stuff. It is.
Yeah, with the Alaka stuff, definitely it was it.
Yeah, it's focused solely on him.
Yeah, because it's dealing the
repercussions of what happened in the previous arc.
Yeah, because Illumi, is that how you pronounce his name? I always
his name's Illumi.
Illumi, okay, yeah, because I know it's Illumi. So I was like Ilu. Okay, yeah, but because Illumi is like the main antagonist of that arc, right? And then Killua's whole objective for that arc is to use his sister's power. So you got two things going on. So number one, Killua is trying to protect his sister, his younger sister.
You find out he has another sister because we didn't know she existed either.
Well, right. Well, okay, sister in the terms, I don't want to spoil that.
Oh yeah, I know what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about. Isn't she a Zoldyck?
No. Well, her technically supposed to be her sister. You get what I'm saying?
I don't remember.
Well, no, because remember they're all brothers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But isn't she a girl?
No, I think she's a boy.
No. Boy dressed up as a girl.
Oh man, that's fucking weird.
No. I can hear. No, it's funny. Here's what's gonna get you too. That's not the only one. The one that was with the Phantom Troop.
That's a boy too.
See, he didn't know that.
Oh man,
you gotta pay attention to what they said too. Yeah.
See, this is what I get for fucking watching with them damn subs, man.
No, I watched it in sub too.
Yeah, but they're all brothers.
I missed that. That's gross.
Yeah,
that's gross. This is supposed to be for children.
Who said it was for children?
All right.
We flipped your whole world upside down. Now you don't.
Well, don't forget. If we're gonna go back to talk about the Zoldyck, remember the Zoldyck family is a very strange family, and I think it has something to do a lot with the mom.
So is the mom a chick too?
Yeah.
Like, is the mom really a chick?
Yeah, the mom's. Yeah. As far as we know.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
She got like a robot head. We don't.
Find out Killua's part android.
How do we know they're not all test tube babies?
Now that would be interesting.
I mean, their family is a strange family, no doubt. He talked about it. They cling to themselves.
Why is it Killua the only one that look like his daddy?
You got a good point.
Yeah, because you got the fat one sure don't look like it.
All the other kids look like the mom.
I never thought about that. They could have something like that going on, to be honest with you, especially.
All right. So anyway, so getting back to the election arc. So yeah, so pretty much like the election arc, like I said, it focuses on Killua because Killua's whole deal is he has to protect his sister, and because he breaks her out of the family compound to bring her to what is the city where the association HQ is? I forget the name of it, but that's where Gong is, right? So because he wants to use her power in order to be able to save Gong. Meanwhile, we have the chairman election arc thing going on, and then that's where Leorio comes back in, because wait a minute, doesn't I'm not going to spoil what happens with Leorio, but he becomes a major player again. I'm just going to say it like that. Like he's introduced into the story arc in a like supporting role, because the thing is, all the hunters are supposed to be in the city because they're supposed to vote for the new chairman. Like all of them have to come in and vote, right? So Leorio's just there to vote, but then he ends up getting wrangled into the fucking politics of what's going on, and he ends up becoming a player. But of course, his whole thing is he's trying to garner interest on behalf of the Hunter Association, because he's also trying to help Gong as well. And he develops somewhat of a rivalry with Jing. Once he finds out who Jing is, they kind of it's like a pseudo rivalry, so to speak. So yeah, but you know, it's one of the shorter ones, because I think that one's only like 12 episodes too, right? Like it's one of the shorter.
Oh, it's definitely one of the shortest arcs for sure.
Yeah,
not the shortest.
And of course, with this anime, like with many anime, they make up an ending because they got to be able to close the anime, right? The way this ends is not the way it happens in the anime. I mean, in the manga. But I'm not gonna lie, I wanted more. Like the ending didn't really do it for me. Like I was kind of like,
tied up nicely. I mean,
it's all right. I mean, for what it is, but it's like, it's one of those series that is still going on to this day, and he takes a lot of time with it. So, yeah. I mean, I hear that there's gonna be some stuff. I hear the anime's coming back soon, and they're gonna do a thing that I know, a fight that I really want to see. That was hinted way back. Oh, yeah. So you're aware.
I know which one that is.
So you're aware. There's those two guys. I got to see that.
Oh yeah, they cannot bring the anime back right now. There's not enough material.
Yeah, I would agree. They have to finish the Dark Continent arc first.
Yeah, good luck, Togashi. Yeah. Whenever
how long is that arc though?
Man,
so far, like, isn't it like over 60 chapters?
Maybe a couple volumes at best. Maybe a few, but I mean, it's not enough to. I mean, honestly, if it was like in terms of episodes, I mean, I would say maybe they have enough for like a season, maybe 2 at most. Like if they
because hasn't Dark Continent been going on since like 2014?
Yeah, but Togashi, he hasn't been putting anything out.
Yeah, once Togashi be getting sick and he be taking his time with it, so he's going almost like seinen pace or even more when he does the series.
He's like, you get it when you get it.
I don't know, man. You know what? I've always supported Togashi. I've always backed him. You know what, dude? I'm at the point. I'm like, dude, maybe you should just hire somebody to finish it, bro. Like,
well, yeah, the drawing part, I would say, yeah.
Like,
he's got that intricate mind where he wants to do, the story, and how he does the stories is way different than everybody else's.
True, but it wouldn't take that much to do the story, especially since he said most of that stuff is already done. Funny
enough, he actually did let Sue Ishida do the backstory of Hisoka. There's like actually a one shot where he actually let Sue Ishida draw that whole thing. So I'm like, why don't you just let Sue Ishida, just in case nobody knows, is the creator of Tokyo Ghoul. So, like, why don't you just let him do it?
I'm saying, man, like, it's almost at the point now. It's like, dude, it might be worth just like letting another artist do it.
Ask your wife to help you.
Yeah,
she's the creator of Sailor Moon.
Hell no. Hell no. Get somebody close to your art style, dude. I'm not saying she ain't talented. I'm just saying.
Hey, she probably can emulate it a little bit. I mean, the whole thing about being able to draw, or being a good manga artist, is that you have the ability to just know how to draw, period. So I mean, as long as she knows how to draw, I mean, I'm sure she can change up her style to be able to accommodate for the fans. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Irvin, bro. You a creator, bro. Do I really have to say this out loud, bro?
Go on ahead. Go ahead.
He old. She old.
That's why.
Young 20-something-year-olds. Go find you a young 20-something to knock out these pages for you. That's what I'm saying.
And I guess maybe he wasn't happy with Sui Ishida, because if he let Sui Ishida do that one shot, and then I'm like, after that, I ain't seen nothing else, Sui Ishida do.
Well, how you know old boy ain't got his own gigs though? Because Tokyo Ghoul was a hit.
That's true.
I mean, to be fair, man, a lot of the Japanese people be living older than the most of us out here. So
still though, man, you need some young hands.
No, I agree with you on that. You need some young hands. I mean, that's how I feel about that.
For an example, how much old boy who's drawing Dragon Ball Super, how much younger is he than Toriyama? Ain't he like 40 years younger than Toriyama?
Oh yeah, he's you talking about starts with a T, Toyotaro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, isn't he like damn near our age, like early 30s? Yeah. Get you one of them. One of them young boys. Get you one of them young boys.
I honestly am at the point now where I kind of feel like, just based on interviews I've seen with Togashi and everything, he's probably perfectionist. Probably doesn't want anybody else touching his work. That's probably what it really boils down to. It's like, y'all can't do it.
And you know that for a fact, Larry. You know how artists can be about doing their work.
Yeah, we particular about shit like that, dude. I mean,
like, what the hell is this shit?
No. I mean, no, because I'm a musician and I see certain things how you guys that do more drawing and stuff are critical on certain things what we view on.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have necessarily chalked that up to my profession. I would have just chalked it up to me. Dude, let me tell you how particular I am. I'm so goddamn particular. I wouldn't even do curbside delivery for groceries during the whole quarantine shit. I was like, nah, bro, because y'all not gonna pick what I want. Like, dude, when I go to the grocery store, I don't just buy banana. Fuck, I forgot to get bananas. I got
bananas.
But no, dude, like, I don't get any bananas, right? Like, I sit there and I gotta like study the bananas, right? You know what I'm saying?
Look at it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm particular about shit, So yeah, it's probably that. All right. So you know what's funny about this? Originally, my plan for the review was we were going to do story, characters, animation, music, all that jazz, right? But we kind of ended up doing it all as we were talking about the arcs. So, and we're coming down on 2 hours, so we got to get ready to, wrap this up soon. So I'm gonna say this. Are there any characters we haven't talked about yet that you guys want to talk about? Because I think we covered just about everybody.
All I want to say
okay, I don't want to do like a little spoiler thing or nothing talking like that. The only thing is, how'd you feel about Kite at the end of that arc?
Like, what happened? His fate, or?
Yeah, his fate.
I'm gonna be honest with you about Kite. Period. First off, I thought his power was dumb as fuck. and then second off, to say that he becomes such a big deal, like his role, right, becomes such a big deal in that story, we didn't spend enough time with him.
You don't think so?
I agree with that.
I don't think so.
We didn't spend enough time with him.
I think we did just enough for what it needed to be honest with you. I mean, all he was there to do was serve a purpose to be able to establish kind of like a teacher role for Gon in a way. A mentor, somebody for Gon to kind of look up to.
Yeah, dude, but I think he's in less than 12 episodes.
Yeah, but I mean, I think any more than that, and it would have almost felt like it was just dragging on. Think about if you would have just had them continuing to go through that process, them trying to hunt down the queen, you really would have just been dragging that out just to try to force everyone, the viewer, to be able to feel a relationship. You know what I mean?
I suppose. I just think Kite should have been in it longer, but when Kite does leave, I mean, that's kind of the point in the story when that needs to happen. And the way it happens, oh my God. Because that's when the Royal Guard is introduced. And at that point, it's like, yeah, Kite had to, yeah, that was when Gong and Killua would kind of sort of be on their own at that point.
Yeah, I think that Pito was definitely my favorite character. I think of that whole.
Yeah, mine too. Pito's my favorite one in that arc.
Oh, I don't mean to
Poof is cool
scare you
too,
again.
but
I don't mean to scare you again, but Pito is supposedly a he.
I was about to say that.
then why does he have breasts?
I know it didn't. It confused me too when I found that out later.
He draws a lot of androgynous characters in this series. That's the interesting thing about it.
And actually, in the manga, Pito looks a little bit different in terms of Pito's figure. I think in the anime they did. They made it more pronounced, but yeah.
Wait. To be fair, even that scorpion chick was a chick until they did that crazy monster transformation.
Okay, moving on. So,
gender bend.
Yeah, is everyone now, dude? It's ridiculous.
Find something new about Gon one day. Say no.
Hey man, I already hear some weird shipping things like they want Gon and Killua to be like a match or some shit.
Okay, so all right, so let me see. What else do I want to talk about? I mean,
but giving back to the whole kite thing, that's why I wanted to ask. So how'd you feel about the election arc about Kite? If you get what I'm saying.
I don't even remember.
You forgot.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It might have went over your head because it was a brief scene.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Oh wait, no. The only thing I remember about Kite in the election arc is like the message, right? That Gong receives. That's it.
You don't remember the meeting?
The meeting with the fight?
Nah.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't remember.
Yeah,
he doesn't remember.
I don't remember.
And it's funny because that goes into what we were just talking about a couple minutes right now. So I was like, oh wow, Kite.
I do not remember. I just remember. I was looking at some of the comments. I'm sorry. No, I just remember like I thought Kite's power was stupid. I thought it was so dumb.
Oh yeah, with the roll of the numbers, the slots.
Yeah, like
you got a bad roll. Oh man.
I thought it was so stupid.
You keep getting a bad roll, Kite.
It was so gimmicky. It was so gimmicky. And why would you? Because essentially every nin user can create their own power, right? Because it's based off of their personality.
But they have to give it almost like a weakness to it. They have to choose their own. Like, okay, what's the trade-off? You know what I mean? Like,
here's the thing too.
Kurapika, he chose his trade-off.
I really did want to get into the power scheme thing. The one thing that's also interesting too is some maybe people can have two different, power styles. Some even have strictly one, and even Hisoka even mentions like if you focus more, even if you have that one style, you do pretty good compared to some others. It's all about how you train for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right.
But anyway, guys, I gotta leave because I gotta switch posts. So
I got you. All right, dude. Thanks for stopping by, Nick. Appreciate it, my man.
All right, see you, Nick.
No problem. All right, it's good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Y'all have a good day. You too.
For the record, that kite thing happens at the end of the Chimera Ant arc. That's not in the election arc.
I could have sworn that was.
No,
it is. It is. Well, okay, if I say it, because he gets better. You know who gets better?
Then he knows now.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, it's in the private chat. That happens at the end of the Chimera Ant arc. That's the last episode of the Chimera Ant arc.
No, because he gets better. I mean,
no, I know
somebody else seen it.
No, that couldn't have been. No, that couldn't have had to be.
No, it couldn't. Yeah, it couldn't have been.
Yeah, that wasn't the election.
Yeah, because he gets better. That's when he meets Jin. Then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see who," because he apologized about what happened.
Yeah, because remember what happens to who at the end of the Chimera.
All right, now y'all just confusing me, and it's late. Bye, Nick.
All right, see you.
Oh man, just confusing me, bro. Y'all just confused me, dude. You know what's crazy? I had a whole nother graphic I didn't even get to pull up.
Oh, Now that one looks nice right there too. I like
know,
that
right?
one actually a little bit better.
I know, right?
I like the colors in it.
I was planning on swapping them out like halfway through, but then we just got into the damn discussion. I done lost track of time, and then you know how this is. Yeah, no, I do. When I saw this wallpaper, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna hang on. Dude, I've been hanging on to this wallpaper since I first announced the Hunter x Hunter review, like last year. Just for this video, because I'm like, because I really like the wallpaper.
But you can always make it the thumbnail.
You know how long it took me to make that custom thumbnail?
How long? How long? It can't be longer than some that I've probably done. How long?
About 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's enough time. That's enough time to want to regret it. You know, if you choose something else, you know. But you could always take the concept of this one and that one and kind of merge them together. But
anywho, so all right. So what else did? Because I'm about ready to get over to these comments. Dude, like I said, we done already talked about the music. Yeah.
Did we talk about you know something we not covered at all, or at least I don't think you did before I got in here. You could have though. I'm not sure. One of the biggest things about Hunter x Hunter that I think they do really well now. This is some of you guys may take this as like some may like it. It's like a love or hate thing. You may either love it or you may hate it. The narration, the narrator. You know what I'm talking about? How there's certain the narrator has kind of like a prevalent role in certain scenes in the story. For example, the narrator's role a lot during the Chimera Ant arc, in some of the fight sequences, where the narrator would kind of cut in. You know what I'm talking about?
I guess I just never paid that much attention to it.
Oh, I think that the narration really added a lot of depth to certain scenes. Like even, for example, Gon's fight in the Chimera Ant arc with a certain someone. When you had that brief moment of narration, when you had the narration when it came to the king and I believe they did it in the fight with Netero.
Yeah, they did. Oh yeah, because there's the whole thing about the what is it, the flower?
Yes.
Yeah. You're right. Because dude. Actually, that was like a whole little vignette that they did with that. Which I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then you see and I was like, oh, that's what that was about.
Now I know sometimes I've heard some people kind of criticize. They think that the narration in certain parts of Hunter x Hunter was too heavy. Almost like you're not really, you're. It's almost like you're trying to tell someone the whole story. But I don't know. I kind of beg to differ a little bit. I think it added a lot of depth. To certain scenes.
Yeah, I didn't mind the narration. I thought it was fine.
But you don't always see that in a lot of anime. At least I don't. A lot of anime that I watch, like the narrator kind of come in and, give you more of the slow down the scene for you when it might have already been kind of going fast paced in the moment.
Yeah.
So,
but what's funny about that though, Yu Yu Hakusho had great narration.
Did we really get that much narration in Yu Yu Hakusho though?
Well, there was at the beginning and end of every episode.
Oh yeah, well in the beginning and the end, yeah. But I'm talking about more in
the middle.
In the middle of the episode.
Well, no, you had that in Yu Yu Hakusho too sometimes.
And then you find out, spoiler alert, Koenma. Well, not Koenma. His with an ogre.
It was ogre.
Yeah, the whole time. I thought that was funny, but
it was ogre. Yeah. All right, man. So so you ready to talk? Let's get on some of these questions, man. We coming up on 2 hours, bro, and I'm about to be finished, bro. I have reached my conditions. My conditions are about to be fulfilled, and I'm about to just be out.
Are we starting all the way at the beginning?
Do you have? Well, I don't think mine goes that far.
Mine goes to 9:16, so I guess not quite the beginning. Because it's been on here for about almost 2 hours, so yeah, I guess not. I can't go all the way to the beginning.
I guess we can go all the way to the beginning. I just got to pull up the YouTube page. All right, so let us see what we have. First and foremost, shout out to everybody watching live. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Actually, yeah, I can only get up to Yeah, 8:16. Oh man, so dang, so we missed like an hour's worth of comments. Sorry, sorry guys. Let's see. Resource. Evil.
I'm trying to go to your channel now. I was looking at the chat.
I see some comments talking about some of the arcs. Did we ever find this out, Irvin? What does Meruem mean in Japanese?
No, we know they never, or at least they never specified that in the series. I don't believe. I know that they, the whole thing in the arc was the king finding out, what his, actual name was. That was what he wanted to, discover. But we never actually. I don't think we learned like the meaning of it. If that makes any sense. I don't think they really put a lot of importance on the actual meaning behind it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type it in and see.
Let's see.
Oh, it makes sense. It means, well, at least from a little quick search, it says the light that illuminates all.
The light that illuminates all.
All light. Yeah, the light that illuminates all light. I don't know if that's true. That's just a quick, friendly Google search.
Wait, you just Googled Meruem and that came up?
Well, I typed in Meruem meaning, and that's what I see. But I don't know if this is a reputable source. So it's on names.com. Let's see here. Or not, I'm sorry, not names.com, names.org. That's what it came with, so I don't know. But
how about that? Okay. All right. That's cool, I guess. Got a little Lucifer vibe going there. Let's see. Before. Okay. This one's from Katakuri fan. He says, "Before I forget, Larry, is Nin the best power system in anime and manga? And if not, what do you think would be number one?"
Ooh, that's a tough question. You saying all?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know enough to be able to say all anime and manga. If you're asking me, is it the best power system in the anime and manga I've seen? I'm not sure.
Now, when we say power system, are we just talking about your standard like shonen, power, kind of like an action adventure type of story? Because if we're talking about just something that has like a power and that has rules to it, I'm always gonna say probably the Death Note, but because there are so many rules to that. But but if we're talking about something,
I don't know, man. See, the thing is, it's like Nin is. I mean, it could be anything, right? Like you could do anything with it. It's so versatile.
But now you have to balance it out with some kind of repercussion to it. Like you have to choose some kind of rule to offset it. You know what I mean? Like you saw what Kurapika had to do. Where he had with his chains. He can only use those on who. He can't use those.
Okay, how about this? I might argue it's the best constructed. But that wouldn't necessarily mean that it's the best I've seen. Like I think the way it's developed is really, really good. What that looks like when it's actually applied to the characters and then into the conflicts in the story, that's a little bit different. So it's pretty much what I'm arguing is the difference between concept and execution. Conceptually, it's really good. Execution wise, that hit and miss. DeJean Peterson says, "Who's your favorite character?" My favorite character was Killua.
I think I've already said it. It's going to be Pito, just because I don't know. I like Pito's vibe. I think Pito just had that cool factor to it. Not necessarily that Pito was a better written character, because Pito didn't really have all that much to it, other than what it wanted, that it wanted to serve the king and it wanted to be a tool for the king. But we've seen that in a lot of other stories. But I just thought Pito seemed really cool, and I guess the fact it's a cat and everything, it's like, all right,
Well, Pito is also the scientist. She's the scientist. She's the healer, and she's a necromancer.
That's true.
So, and she's the one that has like the childlike curiosity. Like because I think she even has the line. She's like, it's not enough for me to break my toys. I want to see how they work in the first place, right?
That's true. But I almost feel like that kind of feels more of like a cat, if anything. Like akin to a cat.
Yeah, probably. Cats break shit all the time, and they always want to blame it on the dog. And dog be sitting outside like, I ain't do nothing. I'm not even in the house.
Yeah. Pito definitely represent, I guess you could say, was willing to sacrifice whatever it meant necessary, like really meant, whatever it meant necessary to protect the king. So I guess you could say it really represented devotion. I don't know if it didn't really, I wouldn't say it represented it stronger than maybe the other Chimera Ants, because they were all kind of like that, or I'm not gonna say all, like the Royal Guard, they were all like that. But yeah. Pito, and actually the way that Pito used its abilities were different than what I expected too. Because with it being, like you said, kind of like the necromancer, with it having with the Nen ability, Dr. Bryce, I didn't think it. I'm like, okay, you have these strings. I'm like, is that all you really can do? And then later on, seeing like, oh, you can enhance yourself, like, and actually make yourself a little bit faster. And I don't want to say what else it can do, but yeah.
This is funny. This one's from Katakura fan. He says, Illumi is Itachi done right. Just saying, I know he predates him. See, Illumi is my other favorite character. Some of the faithful, some of the faithful might know this about me, dude. So, okay, Irvin, you might even remember. I've said this multiple times in previous videos, dude. I'm a sucker for the villainous big brother. So, Itachi's one of my favorite characters. Shishomaru's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, Shishomaru for sure was.
Who's another villainous big brother? Dang, who's another one? I'm trying to remember.
I can give you one, but I know he probably wouldn't fit into the category. Or I know he wouldn't fit into the category. Yep.
Well, no, I liked Raditz, right? I dug Raditz. No, it's another one. I'm trying to remember which. Oh, Schneisel from Code Geass, right?
Oh yeah.
Dang, who's the other one? There's another one too, though. Like I said, dude, I like those, like the antagonistic big brother characters. Like I dig those cats. So when I'm watching this and they introduce, I was like, all right, this is gonna be my nigga. I was like, this is gonna be my dog. I already know. Oh, dude, and come on, another brief spoiler though, because it's one, dude, but it is one of my favorite scenes in the entire series when Hisoka threatens to kill Killua. And Illumi threatens Hisoka.
Oh yeah, like about his prey. Oh yeah, don't mess with my prey.
That scene. Oh my goodness.
I'm like, that was them basically marking your territory. But that's again kind of goes into what I was talking about, like Hunter x Hunter kind of having that survival of the fittest type of feel as a story. You know what I mean? I mean, it's about hunters. Especially like we talked about the Chimera Ants, like that really brought that forefront. But yeah, when that scene you're talking about, yeah, I remember that. He's like standing on the was it like on the mountaintop or whatnot? Like
yeah, it was like a cliff. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and you just feel like his nin like and
illuminating, no pun intended.
Say what?
I said illuminating, no pun intended.
But Hisoka was like, oh shit. He's like, this motherfucker might kill me right here.
Like, all right, you got my respect today. And it's funny because they kind of seem like they're sort of like boys, and it's like, no, he had to let them know that day, like.
Yeah, it's like you my dog and everything, but you put your hands on my little brother, I'm gonna kill you now. Just saying. All right, let's see. Going through some other ones. Okay. Going through. They're talking about the Bleach revival.
And what's the? Let me see. I'm not seeing that question.
No, it's just comments talking about it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Realm of Chaos is just as confused as I am. See. I do not follow My Hero. I just saw that real quick.
Oh yeah, remember we talked about that before. You know, it's about My Hero. Yeah, it's kind of it's like as you said, you know, if you've kind of already been, if you're into superheroes already, or you already follow stories like that, it almost feels like My Hero serves more of like an introduction to those who aren't really, who may be more, you know, just into anime, because they're not really, maybe they're not maybe avid comic book watchers or readers.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh man, Scott Clay says I missed the whole vid. Well, rewatch it. Yes, I did like Hunter x Hunter. And he says plan on reading what there is of the manga. I mean, like I know some of the stuff that happens with the Dark Continent. I'm just not caught up. So, like I've read bits and pieces.
You can wait. You can wait.
That's what I see. That's what I'm thinking, right? Dude, have they actually released any volumes of the Dark Continent though?
Yeah, they have. They've done, I think, a few. I know for sure.
Stateside or
that I'm not sure. I literally remember for a minute when they weren't even coming out with chapters, and I think like in Japan they started like selling like the whole Hunter x Hunter series like together because people thought it was complete, and then come to find out, then Takashi's like, "I'll throw one out for you guys," you know, and then they're like, "Oh."
Because I've seen, because like I've read chapters, you know, scanlations, right? But I'm like, are they gonna like put this out like, you know, hard copy? I mean, because you know, scanlations are fan done anyway.
Oh,
So yeah. Oh, I like this one. The most important question here, obviously, is this: were you rooting for Netero or Meruem? I was rooting for. Actually, I wasn't rooting for either one of them.
So who? Okay, so then what did you want the outcome to be?
I just wanted okay, so I knew they had to kill Meruem, right? I knew that was going to happen.
Okay.
I just wanted to see how they were going to pull it off.
I didn't actually think they were going to kill him, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to make it out of there. You know.
Well, they had to. The story demanded it. But I knew, like you said, you're not going to outbox him. You're not going to outmuscle him. So then how do you do it? And they found a way to do it. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that would work. That would work.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I felt as though, because I don't know if you necessarily had to kill him though. I mean, maybe, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. The arc ended perfectly, but I guess the way I see it is that at least when it comes to like handling a story, as long as the conflict is settled, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to always settle it by, you know, like knocking off the character, you know what I mean? That started it. You know, as long as the conflict was settled. It almost felt like, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it almost felt like the conflict to me felt like it was beginning to settle anyway with him by the end of that arc. So I almost felt
according to Netero, it's like, look, I understand you got like this new heightened, you know, level of thinking and shit. Is like, but at the end of the day, you're still a Chimera Ant. And I can't take the risk of your ant kicking in. So it's like, so you can tell me all of that higher human knowledge shit, but it's like at the end of the day, you still a fucking ant, and you're still a threat to me. And so long as that remains the case, I need to take you out now.
Yeah, I guess it goes back to the survival. Nothing else.
Yeah. Yep.
It just kind of reminds me of you ever seen and I know I've been using this example a lot, but like Planet of the Apes, like the last trilogy that came out.
Yeah.
You know, did you see those movies? And what was it? War of the Planet of the Apes. It kind of reminds me of kind of like the theme behind that movie. You know,
I mean, that's pretty much what that was. Like, Harrelson's character told him, like, hey, man, is either you or us, and it ain't fixing to be us.
Mm-hmm.
God, he was good in that movie. Good in that movie. Vin Frost says, what did you think of the relationship between Meruem and Komugi?
Beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, it was typical. Like, I knew what they were doing with that. So, yeah, you know. I don't think it was bad. It was just predictable.
Like I don't know. I think you know what? Sometimes even if something feels like it can be predictable, but I still feel like Togashi did a decent job at being able to pull it all together, if that makes any sense. You know, like, I mean, I didn't really predict it when I first saw it happening. I mean, I didn't think she was going to have that type of relationship with him. You know, I knew she served a role, you know, to play for him internally. But I mean, clearly, you know, there was, you know, at least it felt like there was a little bit more to it to me than, you know, what you would have thought it was going to go, at least, and how it ended for both of them.
It kind of went where I thought it was going to go. All right, let's see. No Longer Human. Hey, Larry, have you seen the 200 Hunter x Hunter movies, and what do you think of them? I have not. I have yet to see them. I usually don't do anime movies.
Oh no, I'm not getting at you for that. I just wasn't feeling them that much, to be honest with you. I'd have to probably watch them again, but from what I remember of seeing them, like it kind of reminded me of like, you know how like, have you ever watched like a Full Metal Alchemist movie?
Yeah, I remember. What was it? What is it? Something of Shambhala?
Yeah, and I never completed
Emperor of Shambhala. Yeah,
I never completed that movie, but it kind of reminded me of like
mixed bag.
Like, when you look at like, for example, Full Metal. Not to get into Full Metal, the series is so well done, put together that it almost feels like to continue it in any other sort of way, you know, it's always going to fall short of, you know, the main body of work, and I kind of feel that way about the 200 Hunter movies a bit. You know, I mean, one of them is a little bit better than the one with the Dark Nen. I believe it just felt like it was just, you know, just they were doing it just for the hell of it. It didn't feel like they were actually exploring territory that needed to be explored. That makes sense.
But that's most of these anime movies, dude. Like I don't. Funny enough, dude, I don't really do anime movies based off of popular series anymore. Like I used to back in the gap, you know, like, you know, all them damn DBZ movies and, you know, this and that and the other. But it's like, but nowadays, dude, like unless it's like an OVA, I just pass because none of it's canonical in the first place.
No. I understand what the funny thing is I understand what you're talking about completely. But see, the funny thing is I was one of those people that missed those movies, so I didn't know all that. You know, like back when the DBZ movies was out, I didn't see all the whole Cooler and Broly, and still ain't seen that shit. But I understand why people loved it and all that. Because when it came to anime movies, I never seen them unless they were strictly an anime movie, like back in the day, Ghost in the Shell, Kira.
Yeah, like standalone movies, right?
Yeah, the actual like its own thing. And now I'm kind of like delving into that, but with certain series. Now I'm dealing with some of those, like one of the ones I have not seen, because, you know, everybody wants to talk about My Hero, but I'm not too far enough to get into watch that movie.
I mean, if they're like movies, like kind of like, for example, the last Naruto movie, right? I mean, that clearly served for the purpose for the plot, you know, in a way, you know, because it tied up loose ends that the series couldn't have. But I mean, I kind of like when stories do, like, even if it is like for like a popular series, I'm like, tell me something that you didn't have time to really explain or really elaborate on in the main body of work. That to me is what I want to see.
And also sometimes some of those anime movies, they're not even strictly have to deal with lore and stuff in that. Sometimes you just want to see the characters interact, doing their own little thing. So that's sometimes what they do with movies too.
Right, which is, I mean, but like those anime movies from those anime series are just like whenever we do an animated film for one of our animated series, you know.
Yeah, it reminds me of when you made that point, though, Nick. Like, it kind of reminds me of, and I just watched it a couple days ago, Code Geass, The Resurrection of Lelouch. You know, where I'm like, I don't really feel like this needed to happen. You know, like I'm watching.
I
Like,
still haven't seen that yet, and
yeah,
I want
not gonna. It didn't necessarily need to happen. I know there are a lot of people who enjoyed it actually that were diehard fans, but I'm like, and you know, it was okay to me, but it was like, but it didn't need to happen. You know, and I don't really feel as though it really told anything extra in the story that we really needed to know about or would have been nice to know about. Really, all I did is say, hey, you missed these characters. Let's get them all together again, and you know, so you can reminisce and kind of feel a little bit of nostalgia. That's literally what it was about, you know, to me.
Like, dude, I'll give you an example of a good one, right? Like, because one of my favorite movies that's like, which what we talking about, is some of the Inuyasha movies, right? Specifically the third one, Sort of an Honorable Ruler.
Oh, I love that movie.
Because that's the only one that could be canonical, and you wouldn't even have to change a lot, right? You could very easily make that one canon, but that one does introduce a lot of lore in it. Like, it deepens the lore with Tetseiga and Tenseiga, right? It fleshes out the Inuyasha's backstory with his dad, right? Mm-hmm. Like his dad's backstory, it fleshes that out a little bit. So yeah, like that movie had a purpose, you know.
Well, it's funny that you talking about that. That gets me thinking about what you thought those Ronin Kenshin movies.
Which ones?
I think the one about his past, the one he was like a ruthless killer back in the day.
Trust and Betrayal. That's an OVA.
Yeah,
that's canonical,
right.
And it's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Reflections is not canonical, even though it does adapt the Anishi arc, but half of that film is not canonical. That one was okay. And then, of course, the motion picture, which is one of the movies we're talking about, where it has nothing to do with the series. It was just made because they wanted to put Rurouni Kenshin on the big screen. The motion picture, I mean, I like it because, I mean, I just like Kenshin.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Actually, I own all them fucking movies too. Now that I think about it, I own all of those on DVD. Yep.
I guess getting back to Hunter x Hunter, you know, the core of the discussion, I would say I know that I think was it called the Phantom Rouge? I mean, I guess it served a little bit for Kurapika a little bit because I mean, it kind of makes you think of like the Yorknew arc or whatnot, that particular movie. But again, I forget what the name of the movie is, but the second one, movie 2 for Hunter x Hunter, I'm like, nah, don't waste your time. Just don't do it.
Okay, let's see. Looking. Oh God. All right. Because I see 00 Soldier in the chat asking me stuff that should be reserved for Friday's live stream. Oh, there was a super chat. How did I miss that? This $2 super chat from Sky Hime says all of Killua's sisters are. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, Larry had that rude awakening.
We know. Yeah. All right. Let's see. There's some more. There's some My Hero talk. A speculation one. Could Hisoka take out Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho? No, he could not.
Nah.
No, he could not.
No.
Not current him.
Hiei was.
Yeah, not even the one that's in the manga.
Well, I'm saying Hunter x Hunter's not done yet, so we never know what can happen. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, but as far as what we know now, that's what I'm just saying.
As far as what we know now, no.
This one, Jay the Light Seeker. Did Larry already finish his review portion? Yes, I did. So when we done and it archives, run it back. Ooh, this one. What was your favorite? I guess that's Nin ability. Which one do you think is the most interesting or unique? Dude, real talk. I know it's cheap. Krollo's was fucking tight.
I was just about to bring that up.
Oh yeah, his was cool.
It's simple, and I know him being, his name and shit. I'm like, of course, you're gonna be the one stealing powers and shit. But
Krollo's was tight.
Yeah, because see, I always hated the stealing power type concept. Sometimes, giving back Naruto because the eye and shit.
Yeah, Sharingan.
Yeah, but the way he had it, like in a book, he seems to scrolling through the pages, looking through certain things that what he wants to use, and it's just how the way he was doing with the fight with Killua's grandfather. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that might be my favorite because that was the first one that came to mind.
That was one of the ones too, but I'm thinking like some other ones, but some of those weren't like powers because I remember I liked the dude with the like the flea sniper back in Chimera Ant, but it was just that was one of the interesting things you can do. Oh shit, that got me another one that was an interesting power. The one with those like Chimera Ants that are like kind of like mermaids or something, but they were like taking out Killua like in the darts, like they're throwing darts on a board.
Yeah, the little swordfish darts.
Yeah.
That was wasn't that like a brother sister pair or something?
Yeah.
I remember that. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I almost want to say I liked Netro, or I did like Netro, is how it kind of worked or whatever. And I don't know if you remember the whole Buddha statue, how I could even like shoot like a beam out of it and everything. Like I did like how it was.
I just remember it was the most broke. I was like, what? I was like, the dude pretty much like summoned the deity.
He's going all out in that one.
Oh, and then there's probably, I would say, Phaeton's is up there too.
Which one?
Phaeton.
Oh yeah, Phaeton's. I like Phaeton's is way more broken because this put me in a perspective that remember when Kurapika's like, oh, I'm gonna take out all the Phantom troops and all that stuff. I'm like, going back to Yorknew and what we know now, his ass got lucky when you think about it. His ass got lucky because he couldn't fight all the Chimera Ants. Not Chimera Ants. All the Phantom troops because how powerful they are when you see him go through some of the Chimera Ants.
$10
one of them.
$10 super chat from Lauren Francisco 31. Thanks so much. Question for Larry and panel: thoughts on in.
Ooh.
So I hate to be this guy, but Francisco, I did an Avengers Endgame review when the movie first came out. And actually it was another like panel live stream. It was me, it was Random Black Gamer. Who else was in on that one? It was a bunch of us. Yeah, it was me, Random Black Gamer, and I think my boy Ryan was in on that one. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you what I think because you paid $10, $10 for my thoughts. So I'll tell you what I think. But I'm also going to go ahead and link the review in the comments so you can check it out. And yeah, it's just OAW reviews Avengers Endgame. Endgame was fine. Not I didn't like it as much as Infinity War. But it was suitable for what it did to be the last of the MCU Phase 3 movies. It served its purpose. It was suitable.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Infinity War was. I feel like Infinity War, that's what it's called, is Thanos. It was his movie.
Yeah, that's why it was my particular favorite. Yeah, and Endgame was just like, it was decent. I'd say it was decent.
Great finale.
Am I?
But it's a great finale. I will give Endgame that. You know, it had a stronger finale.
Well, you know what's funny about that though? I mean, Endgame is my least favorite. Endgame is my least favorite of the Avenger movies.
Really?
Yeah, I like Age of Ultron and the original much better than Endgame.
Age of Ultron is tricky.
I like Age of. You know what? I actually would probably say the first Avengers movie was probably my least favorite one. You know, but it probably goes in the order. I probably like if just in terms of Avengers movies, Infinity War is number one. Probably then Age of Ultron. Then maybe actually no, I may like Endgame more. So yeah, I'd say Infinity War, then Endgame, and then Age of Ultron. But I mean, that's not my favorite Marvel movie overall. I'd say Infinity War and Civil War are like tied for me. And then Black Panther's up there too.
I was about to say, I was like, the nerve.
Yeah, you already know. Sorry, no.
But okay, yeah. So everyone answered that one?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Laura and Francisco. And like I said, check out my review. Like we go into more depth in that review.
You know what?
It's pretty lengthy.
You know, not to digress into Marvel, but I'm like, I know there's like rumors out there that like, was it Chadwick Boseman may not be doing Black Panther anymore. You know, I guess people.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
I hope that's not the case, but
if they don't bring Chadwick Boseman back, I ain't watching it.
Yeah.
I'm already 1 foot out of the door with Marvel, man. I don't like all the stuff.
People feeling that.
Yeah, I don't like all the stuff they doing, man. They got a couple of projects I'm interested in. Most of them, I'm like, dude, I don't really care about Black Widow. I could care less about that new Thor. They got Sam Raimi in on Doctor Strange too. So I'm interested in it now, but
yeah. See, that's what with me. There's only like two. Well,
damn it, Trent! I keep telling Trent, your money is no good here, sir. I will accept it, but it's no good here. Trent with the $2 super chat, man. He always do this, man. He always do this. What time is the Q&A on Friday, Larry? It will. So see, Friday I can stay up. So it might.
I don't even work that time, so I can show up.
Yeah, I can stay up on Friday, so it might be 8:00 Central Time on Friday. It's going to be the Q&A. That is going to be the monthly Q&A. See, dude, now I gotta come up with a new super chat goal for the Q&A on Friday because my man Rod he blew this one open. So yeah, now I gotta come up with a new one. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to do a poll. That's okay. So tomorrow I gotta do the poll on the channel. For some super chat goal. For super chat goal. All right, let's see.
Yeah, I can be able to join the Q&A easily on that Friday.
Let's see. There is. There was another one. Oh man, can I even answer this one without giving away spoilers? I don't know if I can. So this would be
maybe the favorite arc, or maybe the arc it took place. Maybe that might kind of narrow it down a little bit for them.
So if it is,
and who it involved.
My favorite unexpected moment from Hunter x Hunter.
Me as the Phantom Troop popping in the Chimera Ant arc, so that's one.
My favorite unexpected moment, dude, it might be P2's introduction, because that came out of nowhere, dude. Yeah, it might that might be it. That might be my favorite one. P2's introduction.
The climax of Netero and Marrow.
That's a good one too, because they did it. They did it in a way you would barely even see happening in anime.
Oh, y'all didn't see that coming? I saw that coming.
I didn't see it in the way they chose to do that, like not at all.
I saw that coming. Cause the episode opened with the vignette about the flower. That was the start of that episode.
True. No. Yeah, true. But no, I mean that still adds into it. But you never, you usually don't see series do that.
Oh, and then here's the other thing too. Do y'all watch the previews for the next episode?
Yeah, usually I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they kind of let you know what was going to happen in the previews. So I knew that was going to happen. But P2, that came out of nowhere, and it was at the end of the episode too. Because remember that when P2 popped up, that was the end of the episode. That was like the last scene of that episode. Or no, I'm sorry, it was the second to last. No, third to last. It was the third to last scene of that episode. Because Gong and Killua had to leave, so we don't see what happens until the right before the credits. With her by the water, with her new toy.
Oh yeah, and I remember that.
Yeah,
that seems like iconic especially when it comes to Pito.
Holding that shit like a ball of yarn. I'm just like, bruh.
I was a little tripped out for a minute. I was like, wait a minute, is that the whole?
Yeah.
You know what? Or is that
I'm gonna say my favorite unexpected moment was P2's her introduction, because P2 turned that damn show into a horror movie, bro. it felt like a monster movie.
You knew it was getting that when he was dealing with the ant threat. Because remember there were also those two characters when they were getting hunted, the two hunters.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then I mean,
got up and eaten.
And then they got, and then of course, because the whole thing about them like preying on the village and stuff like that. So yeah. All right. Roderick, man, you know what, Roderick, bro? I might have to start. I might have to treat you like Trent, bro. Your money might not be good here no more. We got another $9.99 super chat. This one is from KJZDBZ191. He says, "Give us the spoilers. Don't rob the in-depth discussions." But have you seen the show? I tell you what. Remember, with the Q&A on Friday, all questions are fair game. So if y'all want to ask me about Hunter x Hunter spoilers, like specific Hunter x Hunter stuff there, y'all know I'm going to answer it. Like, I want to keep a little bit of mystery because we probably got some people who haven't seen the show yet. Oh, Trent said he hadn't seen the show yet. He was trying to figure out if this review was going to entice him to see it. So we do got
Trent. I would say this. I recommend you watching the show.
Oh yeah, definitely,
wholeheartedly. I mean, besides how you feel about maybe Greed Island, and I don't know about the beginning, this is one I would definitely recommend for people.
It's not the way that the show looks is not the way it actually is, and it's good. I mean it in a good way. I don't mean it in like a bad way. I mean in the sense that it's not a super happy-go-lucky kid just going on a
because one thing you got to remember, if you know the 90s one, which is kind of why I like a little bit of the 90s one, it is a pretty dark series. Especially one of my favorite openings you see is a Yorknew arc, and it's the opening too, and it's all focused on Killua, and you see the opening goes in, and you see his eyes turning red, and how the whole city is, and everything's revolving around with chain. So
yeah. I've been rewatching some clips from the original, dude. The original is gothic as fuck.
Yep.
It is creepy, dude.
No.
It still looks good though.
No. If you watch it, here's the crazy part. If you watch the 90s one, right? I even looked up some clips like what's her name's death, the one who had the chain around her heart. If you watch it in the original, it is way more darker because you see the chain creeping in the darkness, about to reach the killer because what she did.
Yeah.
She told what happened.
Dude, it still looks good though, man. Like the animation still looks good, and that was 1990. Dude, that was what 21 years ago. Dude, it still looks good. Still
I'm looking
looks
at it
good.
now. I mean, I'd never seen it, the original. I mean, I've seen little couple clips here and there, but I've never watched the 1999 one.
Speaking of
sometimes
which,
that's all you need to do is watch a
Sky
couple
Hime
clips.
says it's been 10 years. Spoil it, bro. Don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. Oh, Sky Hime with another $10
It's funny you
one.
mention that because I literally just a friend of mine. She just started watching Hunter x Hunter like maybe a couple weeks ago.
Sky Hime with another $10 says, "Spoil the dark continent. Tell us all the manga stuff. Moo ha 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 ha." How about this? We can mention the big stuff that happens in Dark Continent since it's not in the show, right? So in Dark Continent, the biggest thing in Dark Continent is the Hisoka Kurolo fight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like that finally happened.
That fight was sick.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing, right?
It's a fight to death and somebody wins in that one.
Say what?
There is a winner.
No, it's a fight. It's a fight to the death, and somebody actually wins in that one.
Yeah. So that happens. What else? What else is another big thing that happens in that?
The Dark Continent, or dang, I guess this is. I don't know. I feel like that's too big of a spoiler.
I mean, there's a lot of creepy stuff around that arc, but
let me just say this much. Maybe this will be enough to wet people's tongue on this. Similar to how you look at in One Piece, right? How you have the different oceans and stuff, like East Blue, West Blue, the different ones.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of find out with the Dark Continent that's kind of what it is in Hunter x Hunter, in a sense that the world is much bigger than what they've actually explored. That's what the Dark Continent's about. And everything that they face, basically, up until now, or anything in the world, they see small fry compared to what actually is out there. So Meruem and all them, they ain't got nothing on what's in the Dark Continent, and they haven't explored most of it.
I mean, and that one could be, and I think that continent is going to be focused more on Gon, because he already did his goal. He found his dad and all that jazz. But now he's I guess he's being more like a hunter, exploring in the world and what he wants to do. And where I think in these arcs now that they're going with, we're going to be focused on characters with different things. Like one of the ones I hope they do more, I want to see more Leorio, because I think the creator's going to have something solely on Leorio and what he does. And it's and I think it has to revolve in Meteor City, but who knows?
So isn't I don't know how big of isn't Gene a reoccurring character in that one though? Because isn't he on the Dark Continent?
Yeah, he is. Right now, at least I know where they left off. They're focused a lot more on Kurapika again.
Yeah. Because somebody commented earlier, they said that it fell off when they took the focus away from Gon and Killua.
Oh yeah,
because they've been following Kurapika for a while, right?
Oh yeah, that's literally where it's left.
Surprisingly, Kurapika gets a lot of dues in this. That's what I'm saying. I really want to see the other characters do their thing, like Leorio, for example.
What's another big? Somebody brought up the Prince Succession War. I don't remember that. I don't think I got to that part. Maybe
I know a little bit of it, and yeah, that if they ever animate that, that's gonna be pretty creepy. I'm just gonna say that, Larry.
I don't know if I saw that part. I don't think I saw that part. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, because like I said, dude, I've only seen bits and pieces of. I've only read bits and pieces of Dark Continent, so. Let's see. We need a review on Mob Psycho. And Trent was talking about a Kamiga Kill.
Read the manga.
Yeah, that's what he told me. That's what he told me. So there might be a manga of the month. In the next couple of months. if I gotta
I'm
go
kind of
check it
curious.
out.
Well, if I may ask, on the manga of the month, is it like a random draw, right?
No. So manga of the month originally
Okay, not manga.
was
No, I'm talking about the manga of the month, or the show. Maybe you said like, oh, watch an anime show, maybe 4 episodes or whatever. Give you a little thing. Remember, you was talking about that for your patrons.
yeah for Patreon. Yeah, that yeah, I got rid of the manga tier for Patreon just
Okay.
because like no one was interested in it. Um so so yeah, so like manga reviews, I'm pretty much just doing those kind of like on like special requests, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
because there's a couple of anime series I got an idea of might want you to watch. So it's
You
gonna be
paying?
kind of okay.
I mean right now
Okay.
right now the
Okay.
Crunchyroll tier is $20 for 2 episodes.
All right. My question is, do you want comedy or do you want something a little more flashier? If I were to give you, would
Dude,
I
it's
give it
on
anything?
you, man. It's on you. It's your request. It's your request. Just don't have me watch. I'll tell you this. I'm not going to watch anything with rape. I'm not
Hmm.
going to watch anything that I feel is too graphic. Because even in animation, dude, I have my
Limits.
limits, right? So
Interesting.
don't be trying to get me no Gantz.
Gantz is too much for you?
That's funny. That's funny. That's one of my favorite series, but they never did Gans well. So
Yeah, so don't be trying to give me no Gantz. I'm not doing Berserk. Um
which I find interesting on that. But yeah, I already knew.
I mean, well, if
It's
motherfucker pay enough, I might do Berserk. Well, because I haven't because didn't they start like redoing them in movies?
Yeah.
I never saw
they
any of
did.
those. I never saw any of those.
But see, like it's okay. It's one of the best ways to watch it is either watch those 3 movies or just watch the old school '90s one. Because the '90s one
See,
just
I've seen episodes from the original.
yeah.
And it's just out of the box type shit. Um, yeah, but I haven't. If I was gonna watch it, I would because isn't that is that the like golden age, right? Or is the golden age
Yes, the
one of the
Golden Age.
specific ones?
Yeah, it's in the Golden Age arc.
Okay,
All of
yeah,
them is all arc. They never follow the first beginning arc of the series.
okay,
Because it's like it's him in the future.
gotcha.
And you wouldn't get his character because he's like, oh, this guy's bad, a ruthless killer, but you find out he has emotions and it goes, right to that arc.
I gotcha. $5 super chat from Brandon Stark. There is so much potential in the Hunter x Hunter manga. Right, exactly. Yeah, right down to the conceit. Like just the concept of what a hunter is opens the door for all types of stuff. So anyway, but yeah, so like I was saying, like I just with the violence, it just kind of depends. Um It depends on what it is, man. It really does. Because I can do like Hellsing Ultimate, no problem, right?
That's
Um,
surprising.
you said that is surprising.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really like Hellsing Ultimate.
Shit, you would have fucking.
Shit was
I don't
fucking
know.
cool.
I'm trying to want to my home with Berserk, but you would have liked that shit. Maybe like Helsing. I'm surprised.
Hellsing Ultimate was cool. Well, what can I say?
Yeah.
The Nazis was kind of I was like, man, we got to do Nazis again. But everybody hates Nazis, so I don't think anyone was rooting for the damn Nazis. The thing that did trip me out about that show was Walter. Walter tripped me out in that show. I did not see that coming. I was like, what?
Me either.
So that one that one kind of tripped me out. And then the English dub in episode 2 is kind of whack because they have that foul mouth vampire. The motherfucker's whack, bro. Like that is profanity just for the sake of profanity, and it's not done very well.
I mean, he got shitted on pretty much for a reason. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's still it's bad dialogue and it's bad performance.
Yeah. It was going over edgy if you want to talk about that.
Like he was just cussing just to be cussing, and I'm like, dude, like you don't even sound like you don't even. It's like I know because aren't they supposed to be like British cats, like Cockney cats? I'm like, I
Yeah.
know Cockney dudes. They don't cuss like that, dude. They don't even sound like that.
Yeah.
It was kind of whack. Anyway.
Wait, I'm kind of curious. Have you ever watched Black Lagoon?
Yes.
I've only seen I've seen a couple.
I need to put that one in. No good.
I would have to rewatch Black Lagoon. Dude, I have not watched Black Lagoon since 2011. 11, I think, because I think that's when I finished it. It was in 2011.
So you saw both seasons, and I don't know if you
Yes.
saw the movie too, but yeah.
I own Black Lagoon. I have all of it. It's on. I gotta get it. I gotta get it from an old external hard drive, but I still have it.
Okay, so yeah, you seen that and you seen the movie, right?
Did I see the movie? I don't remember if I did. I want to say I did, but I don't remember it.
All right. I don't know, but I got an interesting thing I might get you to watch. It's gonna be a comedy. That's gonna be the interesting thing. So
Okay. I like comedies. Sometimes. Desert Punk was funny. Shin-Chan tickles my funny bone every now and then.
Oh yeah, Shin-Chan.
All right. So, gentlemen, I think that does it, man. We went like 2 hours over time. This is almost a 3-hour video. I ain't never gonna get replays on this. Yeah, people ain't gonna watch. It's like that's a 3-hour video. I'm not watching that. It's like, man, I ain't never gonna get no views on this. But hopefully, my man Rod, dude, I hope you got your money's worth with this review, bro. I'm hoping. Hoping I did 3 hours, bro. Come on. Like, it's a pretty long ass review. So hopefully we did it, and I was able to get my dogs in for this one. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we was able to. Rod, if you still watching, man, let me know. Are we good?
I mean, he'll let you know during the Q&A. I mean, that's gonna be where it's gonna get really interesting.
What do you mean?
The Friday Q&A?
Yeah. What about it though?
I don't know. Just saying. I can see that one being a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, okay. Happy customer. That's what I like. A happy customer. Yes, that's what we do. I don't do. You know what? I'm just gonna throw this out there. Shout out to my man Anime Rick. Rick, I did see your comment to want to get in here. Real shit though, Rick. Dude, hey, my dog. But if I would have let you in here, we would have been here all night. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta be up in 7 hours. All right. So I couldn't be on here all night, bro. I just couldn't. Not tonight. Holla at me on Friday. We can do some crazy shit on Friday. Cause I can stay up late on Friday. You know, because I can sleep in on Saturday. You know, but yeah.
Up all night.
Yeah, we would have been here. Shit, man. It would have been like them old fucking Cloud Village Skype calls.
7 hours.
7 hour fucking Skype. Dude, them Skype calls, dude, we would get off those motherfuckers at like the middle of the night, right? Go to bed, wake up, and cat's still on them.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be like, because even when all that stuff was gone, there's some people that did stuff with Discord, but it hasn't been the same. Or even after the Google Plus streams and stuff. Remember those?
You know what? I'm thinking of starting up a Discord for the patrons.
You should.
I mean, you should. Everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of starting up a Discord, man. Or another thing I was thinking about looking into. I need to check my analytics about this, about like the channel membership, because I don't know if I qualify for channel membership or not. But I'm like, yeah, I could do that as like a channel membership perk too. Is like the Discord. Yeah. And the other thing too, like not just patrons too, but like because I've noticed, especially like the last 2 weeks, for the record, you guys have been awesome, supporting the channel with like super chats and stuff like that. And but I've noticed it's like the same people, right? So I'm like, even those cats, like I would get them in on the Discord too, Really?
Whoa.
Really? For me to do something like that,
I think you had to be in like in a higher,
for me,
count.
for me to do something like that, that is this an idea for like a super chat goal? Because that would be a very high goal. That would be a really, really high goal. I'm not against doing one, but
maybe when you hit like your next like subscriber goal, that could be something you do.
no, I need to get paid for it, bro. I need to get paid for it. For me to do a 24-hour stream, yeah, that would be something, man. That would be crazy though. You know what though? I'll be honest with you. If I was doing a 24-hour stream, I probably would not do it all on YouTube. So like I would probably do like part of it on YouTube, part of it on like Facebook, part of it on Twitch. Like a Twitch stream would be part of it, right? Yeah, it would probably be like a multiple. What is this? 24-hour stream, I can do $1,000. Dude, stop.
Well, I got a feeling something like that was gonna pop up.
Stop. I don't know if I could do it for 1,000 though, bro. I don't know. I mean, I understand. I'm not big name like some of these cats. You know what I'm saying? But like one of the cats I follow on Facebook, he did a 24-hour stream after he reached 2,400.
No, because I know these guys that I follow on a podcast. They always did like they did a couple of 24-hour streams, but these are people like, oh, I got like 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
do those guys.
Yeah, and see, and that's the other thing too. Yeah, usually the cats that I see do 24-hour streams got big channels. Big channels, big pages. I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, Rod, for the record, I know you crazy enough to do that now. So pause. Just pause. I don't know though, man. With $1,000, bro, I can finally get that new camera and that new mic I've been eyeing, and a ring light, and a green screen. Hook the place up, bro. I'm just saying.
No. I didn't want to fuck with if somebody else said we're gonna have that men green screen. Oh, you never saw men when he had a green screen, manga men?
Yeah, but it's just a regular green screen. What's wrong with his?
I ain't nothing wrong with it. No, it's more of a joke.
Oh,
I don't know what you're gonna have in the background of it. So
I'd probably just have the I'd probably just hang on. Remove from screen. Let's see. Oh wait, I did that wrong. Where is it? How do I get to the? There it is. Yeah, man, I just have like the background. For reference, that's $42 an hour starting. Oh, Katakuri fan says, how about 1,000 for 10 hours? For 10 hours. Dude, okay, all right. I don't know about a 24-hour stream. Dude, I will easily do 12 for 1,000. Easy. Like, I don't even have to think about that. Like Katakuri fan says 1,000 for 10. Katakuri, I'll do 12 for 1,000. No problem.
The funny part is that most of y'all don't know I'm in here working right now, and I'm basically working for 12 hours, and this goes by fast. Just get some rest, and you feel good.
I'll do for 1,000. I'll do 12 easy. Like that's not even like a problem. I'll do it easy, right? Because that could be a single 8-hour stream here and then 4 hours on Twitch. I can do 12 easy, bro. That is not an issue.
You just like, I don't know if I want to. You want to get some sleep.
Yeah. I just don't know about 24 hours.
I'm in here working doing 12 hours shifts for 5 days straight. I still got one more day. One more day I can do on my weekend.
Yeah. Let's see. any more donations, and it just goes up. Um,
But
man,
I'm gonna leave you guys right
everybody.
here. I'm gonna
Okay.
leave you guys right here. I got charge my phone and stuff, and I'm starting this shift, so gotta do
Okay.
things.
Cool. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, we about to wrap up. Because, like I said, I gotta. Actually, Double O Soldier. You know what? Your ass need to be in bed right now too, because you got to get up even before me.
Right. Good night, y'all. Good night, chat.
All right, see you, Nick.
See you guys on Friday.
All right, later. I'm just saying, bro. I'm looking out for your best interest. You got to be up even before me.
Yeah, 12-hour stream. That that doesn't sound too bad. To be honest, in comparison with 24 hours, because I'm like thinking 24 hours. You better make sure you don't nod off. Otherwise,
I could do 12. Like if I was gonna do a 12-hour stream, I'd probably do something like along the lines of like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. something like that. I do it during the day. Like I wouldn't do it at night. I do it during the day. Well, you know what? It'll probably be long. It might be longer than. I don't know.
During a 12-hour stream, though, would you just pretty much like react to stuff, kind of, and
So here's an idea I would have. Okay, so like I said, like I would do Twitch, right? So I'd be streaming some games on Twitch. I'd probably, like I said, you can do a single live stream. The longest live stream, single live stream you can do on YouTube is an 8-hour one, right? So if you do more than that, you have to start a new one, right? So I could easily do just an 8-hour stream on YouTube, right? And then the other 4 hours I might do on Twitch. Because 4 hours on Twitch go by quick, bro.
Well, yeah, I guess that would work. I mean, you've been doing. I know you've been with the Naruto Storm videos lately. So I guess
and Batman Telltale, and I have Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I have Jump Force, which I haven't even played yet. UFC, Madden, 2K. What other game do I have?
Oh yeah, you pop in a couple games. That's it right there.
Yeah,
that's the whole stream.
So I can do 4 hours a game and no problem. It sucks. Wait, hold on. What did I say? It sucks. I work on Friday through Saturday because 1,000 for 10 is a good deal. Hey, you know what, Rod? If you are feeling so generous, wait, no, he says he works Friday through Sunday.
So see, it
would have to be one of those days, though. If I was going to do a 12-hour stream, it would have to be one of those days. Either a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. It would have to be one of those days.
You can take a hit on a Thursday, and just...
Okay, so if I was to do it on a Thursday, it would have to be a Thursday night. So it would have to be an overnight stream. Dude, I have, dude, for the record, y'all don't understand. I'm working 3 jobs right now, right?
Oh,
yes. I still have, dude, that's why I say I got to be up in 6 hours and 53 minutes.
So none of them are like closed up right now?
Well, no. So my main gig, I'm working from home, right?
Okay.
But I picked up another gig that I can facilitate while working from home. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm doing 2 at the same time, and then I'm still doing YouTube on top of those 2.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So it's 3. I'm doing 3. So the only time I get off is the weekends and every other Friday. So
at this point, I mean, you really can't, you can't stretch yourself too thin. Wind up oversleep and then don't even be able to do the other ones. But
well, it is. I found I have a gift for it, dude. Dude, I got up at 5 this morning, off of 2.5 hours of sleep, and I've been rolling since 5 a.m.
And I'm actually surprised you don't seem tired right now.
Reserves.
It's that young energy that we have. That I
I'm
hear.
30, hey man, I'm 30 years young, baby. 30 years young, baby.
Yeah, we might start feeling it later on. You know, I mean, I'm 26. You know, but
there are times where I notice my back just starts hurting for no fucking reason.
That's the beginning.
Dude, the other day my knee was bothering me. I'm like, what the hell my knee hurting? All right.
You know, but as long as you're eating healthy, I mean, if you do drink plenty of water.
Yes.
Okay, well, you drink plenty of water. If you know, I mean, always a lot of people say you shouldn't eat a lot of like red meat and stuff. I mean, I know I do, but you know, if you eat plenty of vegetables, you know, the standard of what people tell you you should be eating in terms of, you know, health wise. I mean, as long as you're not eating a lot of processed foods, more organic things. I mean, that explains it right there why you have energy. Do you eat organic?
Not willingly.
Really? Like, you got something against it?
Okay. We only supposed to be doing hunter related questions. Let me tell you something. Organic milk is disgusting. It is it smells so bad.
I've never had it. You know,
it smells so bad.
I stopped drinking milk for a while, actually. So I mean, I've never had it.
I can't do organic milk, man. It smells so bad.
It's fresh from the udder. What do you expect?
It's so bad. It's so bad. So anyway, so I tell you what, we will pick up the 12-hour stream, 24-hour stream, $1,000, all that crazy stuff. We gonna pick that up Friday, right? So we'll pick that up Friday. Dude, we still got over 22 people watching right now. I tell you what though, I think I might need some help on these likes though, bro. I think I might need some help on these likes. Let me see. What okay, no, we straight on the likes. We straight on the likes. We okay on the likes. We okay on the like. If you haven't liked the video of everyone watching so far though, because we've had people coming in and out all night, right? If you haven't liked the video yet, please look. You know, I always tell you guys, you know, if you like the content, like it, you know, share it, subscribe, all that jazz. And then of course, you know, if you guys want to help contribute to the channel, like, I mean, some of you guys been doing with the super chats, which are greatly appreciated, all my patrons and whatnot. But if nothing else, it don't cost you a dime. And Jesus Christ paid it all on the cross for y'all. The least you can do is give a like. Just a little thumb.
I just realized I forgot to give you a like. I just gave you one now.
Oh, dog.
I know.
After, dude, because I was blowing up your live stream when you had your boy Nico on there, man. Nicholas, man.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was blowing up that live stream, dog. I was like, no, man, they got what? So
yeah, we did get him on there.
So real quick though, before we hop off, tell the people, I don't know if y'all know about my man Irvin, what's going on at Shining Otaku Comics and the Shining Otaku Comics YouTube channel. They are linked on my page, right? So if you don't want to search for them, just go to my page, go to channels, you'll find them right there. Irvin, man, tell the people what they got going on. What you got going on over there at Shining Otaku, man?
Okay, well, I'd be more than happy to do that. Shining Otaku, just to summarize it for you guys, you know, we create manga. You know, we make indie manga, indie projects, and we also we interview creators in the industry as well. So if you're somebody who's interested in manga, want to know about how manga is made, or you're interested in comics, the whole process with that, you know, just head over to our channel. If you want to read some of the comics that we're putting out, you can go to shiningotaku.com. and to our YouTube channel, Shining Otaku, just Shining Otaku. So that's SHINING, and then Otaku, OTAKU. Join the Shining Otaku and you know, become a part of the Shining Otaku group. And you know, yeah, it's a lot of fun over there. We even had a video called "The Future of Anime Live Action Films," and where we kind of talked about the Alita Battle Angel movie. And kind of talked about where we kind of see everything heading with that. So a lot of different interesting topics and interviews, like Nick Ivey and you know, a couple of voice actors. Even have the interview coming up with the voice of Naruto. So Miley Flanagan. We got one that we're going to be putting up fairly soon. Actually, that we've already recorded and everything. I just haven't put it out. So head over there and check it out. Thanks, Larry, for having me on today, by the way.
Not a problem, man. Thanks for coming on. So yeah, check out my man Irvin at Shining Otaku Comics and the Shining Otaku YouTube channel. Okay, so what's coming up with me? Like I said, the Q&A, the monthly Q&A is a little bit early this month. It's going to be this Friday because next Friday is the first. So it's going to be this Friday. It will more than likely it will be 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Yes. And then next week we will be back with our regular scheduled review, let's plays. Let me see. Do I have a top 5 for next? I think I do have a new. Yeah, I will have a new. There will be a new top 5 up for the first. Yes, there will be. There will be a new top 5 up for the first. So damn bug. So yeah, and then I know the Twitch stream. I've been off with the Twitch because because what happened was actually blame Rod because when Rod hit me up for this video, I was supposed to do a Twitch yesterday, but I was like, wait a minute, if I got to do that tomorrow, then then I need to rest up for it first. You know what I'm saying? So but you know, since it was a special review, I was like, all right, you know what? So yeah, so what I'm trying to get back on Twitch on Tuesday nights, but I'm also thinking about doing this weekend, probably Saturday. Actually, it would have to be Saturday. It would have to be Saturday. So I might right now I'm considering Saturday and Tuesday. This Saturday and then next Tuesday, 2 nights worth.
You got a full schedule going now.
Yeah, man.
This week.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and then of course, Patreon. OAW Vault releases every Monday. This upcoming one though is going to be something really special. It is for those of you all. Rod might remember this because he said he's been following us since 2010. So here's the thing: in 2011, there was a 3-part podcast. It was the first YouTube collaboration I ever did. It features me, for Jason, Manga Main, Hugo Strange, and Jay Mason 105. It was sort of like before we started Rogues Gallery Incorporated. It was like the Rogues Gallery Incorporated like pilot.
I haven't heard
almost.
from Jason in a long time. You know, it's been a long time.
But it is the Decay of Animation in America. The Decay of Animation in America, 3-part series. That is going up on Patreon this upcoming
So you're
Monday.
re-uploading it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This upcoming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. And then, of course, every OAW Vault video is every Monday, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. So, yeah, that's what's coming up this week. So we are going to go ahead. We are going to shut this sucker down finally. Oh, I'm about to go pass out. I'm about to take these contacts out, and then I'm done. I'm done. Don't call my phone. Don't come a knocking because I ain't answering.
The 24-hour stream was starting tonight.
What?
And I'm just messing with you, but
so yeah, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, be sure, like, comment, share, subscribe, share on social media, share with everyone you think will get a kick out of this vid, whatnot. Anyone, hey man, everybody's at home anyway. You ain't got nothing better to do. What better way to knock out, 3 hours and 12 minutes than to listen to a bunch of cats talk about Hunter x Hunter?
I agree. This is definitely. I would say check out all the other videos too. On your channel, because I'm like definitely. I say every review you go in depth.
Yeah. So let's see. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, if we are going to do the super chat goal, remember those posts are going up on social media. That's going to be on the Facebook page, on the Twitter page, and on the YouTube channel. So make sure you're following, that you like all of that jazz, so that you guys know when the polls go up, so you guys can vote. Yeah, I think that just about covers it. All right. So, last but not least, become a patron. Patreon.com/OAW. I think I got 1 spot left in the Blockbuster tier. Yes, I have 1 spot left in the Blockbuster tier. and 3 spots left in the top 5 tier. Yeah. The Crunchyroll tier is wide open. The Advice Corner tier is wide open. And then, of course, there is no limit on the Insider tier. Oh, you know what? There's a limit on Discussion of the Week. Discussion of the Week is open, but there's no limit on the Insider tier, and there's no limit on the Vault Keeper tier. But yeah, only 1 spot left for Blockbuster. So if you guys got a movie or a TV review that you want done next month, so in May, you gotta get in that. You gotta get that spot in before the 1st.
Do you have a wait list?
No, it's not a wait list yet because there's 1 spot left. There's 1 spot left. So but if they don't get in by the 1st, then that review won't be redeemed until the next month. So if you want to get in for May, you got to get in before the 1st. And that's for all the tiers. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander in Chief.
And it's Urban from Shining Otaku.
And we are signing off. Until next time, peace.
See you guys.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?